currently moving Gazans to a new location.
I think they'll be resettled in areas where they can live a beautiful life and not be worried about dying every day.
The president has suggested that Palestinians could be relocated to neighboring Egypt and Jordan, but those countries have rejected the idea. Greg Clugston, Washington.
President Trump said Tuesday that he's given his advisors instructions to obliterate Iran if it assassinates him.
If they did that, they would be obliterated. That'd be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it.
The Justice Department announced in federal charges in November that an Iranian plot to kill Trump before the presidential election had been thwarted. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 134 points. The Nasdaq rose 262. More at townhall.com.
Heard me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too with their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. Visit relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
A pregnant woman is among the 5 people who were killed from a Russian missile strike in the Kharkiv region of Ukraine, leaving more than 50 people wounded.
Ukrainian authorities say Russia's strike partially destroyed an administration building and a 5-story residential block in the city of Izium. A search and rescue operation is ongoing. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has condemned the attack on his Telegram page. He says it is impossible to reconcile with this cruelty. We must put pressure on Russia, apply as much force as possible to stop the terror and protect life. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
Separately, the head of the UN atomic watchdog says he will visit Moscow in the coming days to speak with officials about Russia's persistent attacks on Ukrainian infrastructure, which threaten nuclear safety. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. Vice President Vance's itinerary is taking him to France.
The VP is scheduled to attend the AI Action Summit, a high-level meeting co-hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Heads of state, including China's vice premier, tech CEOs, and other stakeholders are expected to focus on artificial intelligence at the 2-day event. Vance, while acknowledging some harmful applications of AI, has said he's worried about preemptive overregulation that would entrench current tech incumbents. Jennifer King, Washington.
The United Nations says the U.S. has given notice that it is halting funding to a UN-backed mission in Haiti, tasked with fighting gangs trying to seize full control of the country's capital. The U.S. has been the biggest contributor to the mission led by Kenyan police, which was launched last year, and is struggling with a lack of funding and personnel. More on these stories available at townhall.com.
This is a special presentation of high school basketball on WEEU, the voice of Berks and Leon. High school basketball on WEEU is brought to you by
Adelphia Seafood, American Diner, Bachman's Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling, Chick-fil-A, Cross Keys Insurance, Diefenbach Snacks, Elite Fuel Service, Houndstown Reading, Judd Firestone Plumbing, Kuhn Funeral Home, Overhead Door Company, Redner's Warehouse Markets, Remax Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Reading Fight and Phil's, Savage Auto Group, Shirley's Cafe, Shore Stay Best Western Hotel in Reading, and Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society.
Now for all the action, let's go courtside with Bob McCool and Rich Scarcella.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. WE's coverage of high school basketball continues. It's our regular season finale. It's a good one. It's the Muhlenberg Muhls and the Wilson Bulldogs. Muhlenberg at 15-6 overall, Wilson at 16-5 overall. And in the Division I chase to the finish, as we've been promising to you from December, it is going down to the wire. And tonight is the wire. And it's Wilson at 7-4, tied with Governor Mifflin for second place in Division I. And Muhlenberg at 6-5. Tied with Reading High at 6-5. It's very simple. Mules and Bulldogs have punched their ticket to the District 3 playoffs. Wilson has punched its ticket to the county playoffs. Mules have not. They need a win tonight to do just that. We'll fill you in on all of that playoff scenario as our game unfolds tonight, but that is the sign of it all. It's the Mules and the Bulldogs. And it's live on 8:30 a.m. WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. High school basketball is presented by Savage Auto Group, and it's also available to you for free on our video stream at 8:30 WEEU Sports on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, check it out. People tell us it's great, so we hope you feel the same way. Please do so. 8:30 WEEU Sports at YouTube. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with our pregame show from West Lawn right after this.
Got a special event? Let Renner's Markets cover the catering with their delicious selection of party platters and prepared foods. Host the best brunch with their sunrise brioche sliders, wraps, and fruit trays. Treat your guests to Renner's assortment of pastries and cakes, or take your party to the next level with fried or rotisserie chicken, shrimp cocktail trays, traditional or boneless wings, and even more easy-to-heat meals made by our executive chefs. Put down the apron and pick up the party with Renner's Catering. Check out the menu at the market or order online at rennersmarkets.com.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end. Your Erie agent is Cross Keys Insurance. Get a quote today at crosskeysins.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
They say dogs are man's best friend, so they deserve the very best. Houndstown in Reading is a full-service dog daycare and boarding facility with spacious rooms, quality grooming, and plenty of room for fun. While you're away, the dogs will play. Houndstown has all the enrichment your pet needs for their physical and social health. They offer a variety of spa services like baths, nail trimming, toothbrushing, and dematting. Give Fido the finest at Houndstown, 610-947-1441, or visit houndstownreading.com.
Welcome back to West Lawn alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. By the way, on Sunday morning, Rich Garcella woke up, saw the shadow, promised me 6 more weeks of high school basketball.
I hope you're right. I hope I'm right. I hope I was right.
I checked your math. It takes us to the state
Reading Rich.
State quarterfinals.
Reading Rich.
You've been right 3 years in a row, 2 years in a row. So let's make it 3.
2 years in a row. Yeah. We had a 2 state finals 2 years ago and a 2 state semifinalists last year. So
there you go.
Hope we do it again.
You're better than Phil. Let's take a look at tonight's game. Muhlenberg and Wilson. We'll start with the Mules. We alluded to it. Here it is. Muhlenberg needs a win to get into the BCIAA playoffs. If not, then they need help. It's this simple. If Muhlenberg wins, they're in. If they lose and Reading High wins, the Mules are out of the county playoffs, and they're just in that spot, Rich. We saw them very recently against Reading High. They knew what the situation was that night. Red Knights dropped 88 on them, beat them 88-80, and then they come back last week and lose to Berks Catholic, so they've lost 2 in a row, and the landscape has changed drastically for Muhlenberg.
They did regain some footing over the weekend. They beat Pottstown in a non-league game, 67-52. They are somewhat depleted, Bob. Matt Flowers told us a few minutes ago that 3 players have left the team on their own, so they're a little shorthanded tonight, but it's none in their regular rotation. Let's make that clear. The Mules know what's at stake. As you said, they win this game, they're in. They don't have to worry about anything else. If they lose and Reading defeats Governor Mifflin at the Geigel tonight, then the Red Knights are in the Berks playoffs and the Mules are out.
As you said, the Mules are in the district playoffs. They know their season continues. As for Wilson, Wilson has lost 3 of its last 4 games, 1 in double overtime, the other 2 by 2 points each. They are in the county and district playoffs, but they don't want to limp in to the county playoffs like they did last year before they won the championship. Matt Coldren said, even though we did that last year, we want to win this game. We want to build some momentum going into the county playoffs next week.
Yeah, it's a very interesting scenario for both of them. The old adage is you want to be playing your best basketball going into the playoffs. You want to be playing your best basketball into February, and they're not. Quite simply, they are not. Both of them riding a little bit of a losing streak. And, again, it's really a perspective thing. Is it they're playing bad or they're just playing good basketball teams? Because that's Matt Colchin's perspective. They've lost 3 games, but they lost by 2 to Berks Catholic. They lost a double overtime to Governor Mifflin. And the game we had the other night, they lost to Reading High by 2 points at the Geigel. So it's not necessarily that we're playing bad is his connotation in all of it. It's just we're losing to really good basketball teams.
And the same thing for Muhlenberg.
Correct.
Their last 2 losses have been to Reading and Berks Catholic.
It's Division I.
So as we said, like, if you listen to us in December, we started our year right here, Berks Catholic at Wilson, and we said Division I is going to be crazy. Berks Catholic has been able to distance itself from the rest of the pack. They've won the division. They only have 2 league losses. If Muhlenberg wins this game and Reading beats Governor Mifflin, you will have a 4-way tie for second place, all at 7-5. And in that case, Reading would be out by virtue of power rating.
Right, because eventually if the tie-breaking of the scenario,
head-to-head,
because they've all beat each other,
yes,
they've all split their games, and so the tie-break becomes power ranking. And as it stands right now, the power ranking is Wilson 1, Mifflin 2, Muhlenberg 3, Reading 4. And so if that becomes the separator, that's what ultimately knocks the Red Knights out. But all of that will shake itself out. We'll try to keep you up to date with what's going on with the game between the Mustangs and the Red Knights. That's at the Geigel. We'll keep you up to date with that one as we get scores in from John Giuseppe, the athletic director at Governor Mifflin. So we'll fill you in on both of them. And, of course, our scoreboard show will follow our coverage tonight. And those guys will fill you in on everything as well when our coverage is complete tonight. But it's time for us now to take a look at our keys to the game. And they're brought to you by RE/MAX Real Estate agent Phil Macaronis. If you're buying or selling a home, Phil Macaronis is a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame with over 20 years of experience providing countless buyers and sellers keys to their real estate transactions. Call 610-670-2770 and ask for Phil Macaronis for the keys to buying and selling your home. It's the Mules, it's the Bulldogs, and Rich Garcella has his keys to tonight's game.
For Coach Matt Flowers and the visiting Muhlenberg Muhls, they want to be patient. Patient on offense, patient on defense. They know Wilson's going to work the basketball on offense and work for a good shot. They want to stay patient at both ends of the floor. Speed and tempo is going to be critical for the Mules tonight. They want to run up and down the floor. They want to make this game at their pace, which is fast. The third one is limiting their turnovers. They didn't do a good job of that against Reading the last time we had them. Tonight, that's going to be real important against the Bulldogs. For the home team, Matt Coldren and the Wilson Bulldogs, they want to defend because the defense, Matt Coldren feels, turns into offense. They want to rebound. They want to keep Muhlenberg off the offensive glass. They want to do a good job defensive rebounding. And the third is Matt wants the Bulldogs to be tough and gritty because he expects the Mules to do the same.
Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society. They've been serving authentic homemade Italian dishes for over 100 years. New memberships are now being accepted for only $10. The facility at 311 Hazel Street in Reading is also available for rental for private parties, banquets, and celebrations. Victor Emmanuel, a taste of Italy, right here in Reading. And both teams are coached by one of their own. Muhlenberg coached by Matt Flowers, the 2001 graduate at Muhlenberg, and he's now in his 4th season at his alma mater, 67-36 with this program. And this is the starting lineup for the Mules. Sophomore, 6'3", Eli Hemmings. Junior, 6'2", forward is Jeff Collado. That's the 2 forwards for the Mules. The backcourt is Justin Armstrong, the 5'8" sophomore, along with Michael Miller, the 6-foot junior, and Shamar Killen, one of the top scorers in the county at just shy of 18 points per game. Killen is a 6'2" senior. Wilson, also coached by one of their own, Matt Coldren, is a 1990 graduate of Wilson High School. In his 24th season, his alma mater, and he is at 424 wins and just 202 losses. That 424 wins is 5th best in Berks County boys basketball history. with his 16 wins so far this season. And the lineup for the Bulldogs, it is a experienced lineup. Rich told you, they're the defending county champions, and they start 4 seniors in their starting 5, with Luke Levan at 6'5" and a senior, and Tom McFadden at 6 foot and a senior as the forwards. Correll Akings, the one underclassman, 5'10" and a junior. John Edom, 6 foot and a senior, and Maddox Gruber at 5'10" and a senior. And like Shamar Killen, one of the top scorers in the county. In fact, they're virtually the same. Killen at 17.9 to be exact. Gruber at 18 points per game to lead the way for the Bulldogs. Correll Akings also in double figures for the Bulldogs at 10.5. Jaden Kantner off the bench for Muhlenberg at this point in time of the season. It's been that way for the last couple weeks. Also in double figures for Muhlenberg at 12.6 points per game. Time for us to take a look now in our spotlight, brought to you by Bachman Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling. Whether your needs are residential or commercial, Bachman's makes the home improvement process easy. The Bachman family has proudly served the Berks County community for over 50 years. Tonight, we turn the spotlight on not just Shamar Killen, but the matchup of Shamar Killen, and that is because Tommy McFadden, the defensive specialist, if you will, you don't play at Wilson if you're not playing defense, but Tom McFadden did a great job on Shamar Killen. Wilson won in Laureldale in the first meeting, 54-39. Again, Killen averaging around 18 points per game, and he's been consistently that. In fact, he's been over 20 a game in 9 games, and Tom McFadden did a great job on him. At the end of the night in that game, Rich, he had 9 points, 3 threes, 2 of them were early, and 1 of them was late. But it was really a case of you could see, watching that game, the frustration of Shamar Killen, that he couldn't get the ball, he couldn't get points, and as Wilson started to separate in the fourth quarter, Shamar Killen's frustration became bigger because Tom McFadden wouldn't let him score.
I think that's the whole key for Wilson, is cutting off Killen. He had 17 Saturday in the 67-52 Muhlenberg win over Pottstown. If you cut him off, you really cut off the head of Muhlenberg's offense. And I think that's going to be really important, is that particular matchup. What does Shamar Killen, what can he do against Tommy McFadden?
And in terms of other scorers for the Mules, Justin Armstrong, the sophomore, at 6.6, getting better and better, and so too is his classmate Eli Hemmings. He is just shy of 10 a game at 9.6. Michael Miller is a lightning bolt right now on the offensive side.
Sure is.
Michael Miller is a really good football player, but he's become a really good basketball player on the offensive side. He was there for his defense and his toughness, but he's become a scoring threat as well. He's now been in double figures in 7 times, including in the game we had, that 88-80 game at the Geigel. Michael Miller had a career-high 16, including 4 threes in that one. And even his head coach, Matt Flowers, is happy and grateful and a little bit surprised at how well Michael Miller has come along offensively. For the Bulldogs, we talked about Gruber and Akings, their top scorers in double figures. Never forget about Luke Levan, because he can be a presence inside at 6'5" and averaging 7 a game. McFadden around 6 a game, and John Edom just shy of 5 a game.
You know, Bob, Levan only scored 6 points against Reading last Friday, but he played a really solid game. He must have had 8 or 9 rebounds, had, I think, 3 or 4 block shots as well, made his presence felt. He just needs to get the ball more and to be aggressive, more aggressive offensively.
Our regular season here on WEEU is about to tip off. It'll do so when we come back to West Lawn. It's the Mules and the Bulldogs live on WEEU. High school basketball is presented by Savage Auto Group.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's potato chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle-cooked chips so much, he turned his kitchen in Berks County into the ultimate snack factory. Now, 60 years later, we're still crafting our chips with the same passion and the finest ingredients, right where it all began. Diefenbach's potato chips, available in all your favorite flavors when you need that PA crafted crunch.
Ahoy! Adelphia Seafood is your neighborhood market for the freshest seafood around, with locations in West Lawn, Fairgrounds Market, and Pottsville. They offer a range of delicious options from crab cakes, clams, fresh organic salmon, and succulent shrimp, as well as convenient take-home dinners and more. For more information or to place an order, visit adelphiaseafood.com or just call one of their stores. Enjoy top quality seafood and exceptional service right in your community at Adelphia Seafood.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
We are underway in West Lawn again alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. The Mules, and they're visiting yellow and white unis, control the tap. They miss a shot inside and a putback as well. And the ball is tied up in the possession arrow. We'll give it back to the Bulldogs in their home white with the red trim. And Muhlenberg coming after him full court with Michael Miller guarding Carell Akings as he brings the ball up the floor for the Bulldogs. First possession after Muhlenberg comes up empty on theirs.
Muhlenberg's Justin Armstrong wearing a face mask of some kind. Looks like maybe protecting his nose.
And that the ball is deflected and loose on the floor. Jeff Collado and Muhlenberg come up with it as Wilson will turn it over in their first possession. Kellen from the corner buries a three.
Yeah, that's a good sign from the Mules. Shamar Kellen, first shot of the night. A deep three from the left corner. Makes it.
Inbounds pass is deflected out of bounds after Killen's 19th three of the season. That ties him with Michael Miller for second on the team. Behind Jaden Perez, who will come off the bench for the Mules, who has a team-high 30. Maddox Gruber with 40 to lead the way for the Bulldogs, with Carell Akings at 33 to give you some numbers. 3-0. Muhlenberg on top early on first quarter. Akings on a switch gives it up for McFadden on the left wing. McFadden drives up off the glass too strong. Levan is there to clean it up, and the Bulldogs have their first
Levan
points.
was really active on the board the other night. Finishes McFadden's miss.
3-2 as a result. Miller gives it up, sets a screen for Killen. McFadden fights through it. They get it to Hemmings, who touches it down low, kicks it back to Killen at the top. Tries to guard, pulls up right elbow jumper, is off the rim. Hemmings comes in, gets the offensive rebound for Muhlenberg, and it's stripped out of his hands, taken away by Maddox Gruber. Gruber in the open floor, up ahead for Akings and two.
Yeah, Wilson likes to run when they get the opportunity, turning defense into offense.
Maddox Gruber, the quarterback in the football field, found Carell Akings a time or two. He finds him on the basketball floor, and the Bulldogs find themselves on top for the first time at 4-3. Ball in the hands of Hemmings in the corner. Armstrong trying to drive on Akings. Off balance and finishes.
That was a tough shot. Degree of difficulty very high.
With Akings right there with him, Armstrong puts Muhlenberg right back up on top, 5-4. They leave Akings open from a left wing three. It's well short. Rebounded by Collado, and now it's the Mules who want to run. In the hands of Armstrong by a defender. Great bounce pass, and it's a layup for Killen.
That's a terrific pass in transition by Justin Armstrong to the open Killen.
Just a 10th grader, Justin Armstrong, making an impact early on in this one. He had a career-high 19 against Reading High at the Geigel. Here's McFadden. Leave him alone. He's going to put up the three and buries it.
And nobody was near him, and he hit about a 25-footer for his first basket of the night.
And we, as a result, are tied at 7-7 as McFadden makes his 11th three. And that pretty much sums up Tom McFadden. Matt Colgin's been begging him to be more of a part of the offense, and Muhlenberg pretty much baited him into shooting it. And he did, and he made it. We're tied at 7 with 5:20 left to go in the first quarter. Killen, wraparound pass, nobody's home. Michael Miller picks up. He's going to fire a long three. That's an air ball in the hands of Gruber, and he wants to go. Gruber across the foul line, poked out of bounds from behind. Nice play defensively by Eli Hemmings. Brings the Bulldog break to a stop. Wilson will inbound underneath.
Yeah, Wilson does like to run after a miss or after a turnover. Gruber has had the ball knocked out of his hands.
Tied at 7. Bulldogs have the basketball to the corner for Gruber. Guarded by Killen right now as the Mules will switch up all the time. Gruber will put up the three. That's no good. Levan with a weak side rebound. Kick out. Edom at the foul line. That's no good. Rebound on the floor. It's still loose, and Collado and Muhlenberg have it back. Killen, long baseball pass. Hemmings, touch pass to Armstrong. Missed the gimme. Levan has the rebound, and Armstrong fouled him on a reach in.
Yeah, it looks like Tommy McFadden got hit got raked across the eyes unintentionally at the other end. He's recovering right in front of us right now.
First foul of the basketball game is on Justin Armstrong as Luke Levan hustled down and got a rebound for Wilson after the miss inside by Armstrong. It's a great touch pass by Hemmings.
Really was. That was pretty.
But the Mules come up empty, and the Bulldogs have it back. 4:45 left to go in the first, tied at 7. They'll give it to McFadden. They'll clear out. McFadden will take it off the floor by himself, guarded by Armstrong. Neither team has substituted as of yet. Backdoor look to Gruber from Levan. Spins, gets a defender out of his way, and finishes for his first two.
Underrated. Great pass by Luke Levan to the cutting Gruber for the deuce.
Maddox Gruber's first points of the game put the Bulldogs back up on top 9-7. And as we approach the halfway mark of quarter number 1, our first substitutes start to work their way to the scores table with the Bulldogs on top and the Mules with the basketball. Armstrong pointing players in the direction he wants. Kicks it around for Hemmings and right back to Armstrong at the top. Sets the screener, gives it up for Hemmings. Killen posting up down low against McFadden. Going to play bully ball with him, misses the shot. And Michael Miller is there to put it back for the two.
Michael Miller with the weak side rebound and put back.
We're tied at 9 on the field goal for Miller. His first two at 3:45 to go. Akings for a three back and Bulldog side is good.
Bob, Wilson made just 6 3-pointers at Reading last week. They're averaging close to 9 a game.
And as a result of Karel Akings' 34th of the season, they're back up on top by 3. Gruber poked it loose from Hemmings, who touched it last. Turnover Mules, and Wilson gets it back. And here comes a couple of substitutions both ways. For the Bulldogs, it's senior Cam Zulinger, sophomore Michael Glover. For the Mules, it is senior Jaden Kantner and junior Jaden Perez. Mules a little more offense in their insertion. Perez, as I said, their top 3-point shooter at 30 a game. Kantner at 12.5 points per game off the bench. With the Bulldogs on top 12-9, they've got possession, but not for long. Gruber throws it away.
Little mix-up between Gruber and Michael Glover along the baseline.
Glover, the sophomore defensive specialist, physical player inside. All-state tight ends as top sophomore for the Bulldogs. Here's Kantner, going to body up down low and then kick it out for Hemmings, and a three is no good. Rebounded by Glover, stripped out of bounds by Kantner, and they're going to say it touched Glover's foot on the way out of bounds. It's Muhlenberg basketball.
Yeah, it looked like it may either Glover, it went off his foot or he was on the baseline. It was hard to tell, but regardless, it's Muhlenberg basketball.
2:58 to go in the first, 12-9. Wilson on top, Muhlenberg underneath on the inbounds. Perez looks for Killen to cut, can't get it to him, gives it for Miller instead in the corner. Out high is Killen. And now around to Kantner on his first offensive touch, just off the bench. He's going to reset. Mule showing some patience here, which Matt Flowers wanted to see them do. Here's a little baby hook from Hemming, no good. Kantner gets the offensive rebound, works his way through traffic, missed the shot. Zulinger pulls down the rebound for Wilson in heavy traffic, and a reach-in is going to be a foul against Muhlenberg.
I like the matchup. Hemmings trying to go inside against Gruber. Hemmings slightly taller, but with a lot of hops against Gruber inside. He just couldn't make the shot.
And Hemmings coming up with a foul on the reach-in. John Edom will check back in for the Bulldogs, and Karel Akings out with 2:32 left to go in the first. Wilson has the ball back in a 12-9 lead. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cross Keys Insurance, an independent insurance agency that can help you find the right policy for auto, home, business, or life insurance needs. With offices in both Reading and Hamburg, Cross Keys Insurance will be the key to your security. 2:15 left to go in the first. Glover with the screen. Zulinger, as Miller fights through it, it turns around and gives it back for Gruber a long way from the basket. And now into the corner for Edom. He's going to spot up for a three. It's in and out. Glover flies from nowhere, gets another offensive rebound for the Bulldogs, and another touch for Wilson. Kick out for Zulinger. His three is also no good. This time the box out by Michael Miller. Gets the ball back into favor of the Mules, and Jaden Kantner wants to go with it. Wilson does a good job to get back defensively. Kantner kicks it back, and they'll set up their offense. Miller's long two is no good. Rebounded by Gruber, and now Maddox Gruber wants to go. Turns it into a 3-on-2, but blocked from behind by Eli Hemmings, and out of bounds. Which way are we going? Justin Armstrong's going to check back in now for the Mules, and it will be Muhlenberg basketball with 1:38 left to go in the first.
It's a terrific block. I missed who made the block, but that was a terrific block out of nowhere on Gruber.
12-9, our score remains. It was Eli Hemmings who
Yeah,
got
I was
the piece
blocked
of that.
out
Yep.
by an official. I couldn't tell. But wow.
Hemmings has got great leaping ability on really long arms. Killen finds the back door to Michael Miller, blocked out of bounds by McFadden. It'll stay Wilson basketball.
Another terrific defensive play by Tommy McFadden.
These two coaches emphasize defense. Sometimes it gets lost because they can also score some points, but they have defended well in the second half of this first quarter.
That looked like a wide open layup until McFadden swatted it away.
So the Mules will keep it as a result. Into the corner, Perez around for Armstrong. Off the Perez screen, Armstrong gets himself freed up for a pull-up 2 that's no good. McFadden comes down with a rebound on a 3-on-2, feeds it to Gruber. Gruber ahead of the pack, lays it in and gets fouled.
Again, Wilson loves to get into transition off a defensive rebound or turnover. That time Gruber has a chance at a three-point play.
One of the things we talk about with McFadden and his abilities is his leaping ability. He skied above everybody and then turned it up the floor immediately, turned it into a 3-on-2, and Gruber ahead of the pack laid it in, and then Michael Miller made contact with him. So the bucket counts. Fouls on Miller, his first, and Maddox Gruber is at the line to try to make this a three-point play. Little jawing after the play was over with. No harm. I can't say no harm, no foul because, it was after a foul, but Gruber makes the foul shot. 5 now for Gruber, and the lead reaches 6 for the Bulldogs at 15-9 after the old-fashioned three-point play with a minute left to go in the first quarter.
Gruber's struggle against Reading went 6 for 20 from the field, got off to a real slow start. A little better tonight.
Killen looking to rekindle and does from the top of the key. They sagged off of him, and he makes his second three. Timeout, Muhlenberg. So Shamar Killen with his three puts the Mules back to within 3. We'll take a quick timeout. We come back in 30 seconds. It's 15-12, Bulldogs on top.
Judd Firestone Plumbing is your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, our team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every day. We handle it all with professionalism and care. Call today at 610-678-9080. Judd Firestone Plumbing, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind.
Now, Rich, we talked in our pregame show about Shamar Killen being held to just 9 points in the 54-39 loss of the Bulldogs. First time around, he hits a 3, pulls Muhlenberg to within 3, and he's got 8.
You can see him being aggressive offensively right from the start, looking for his shot. He's 3 for 5 from the field, including those 2 threes.
Switch to a 1-2-2 three-quarter trap, and the Bulldogs have no problem getting across half court with 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And with a zone defense right now for the Mules, Matt Colgan is probably going to play for one shot here.
Yep, that's what he's yelling out to Cam Zulinger right now. One shot.
With now 25 seconds to go, Gruber and Zulinger will just play catch with one another out near half court, with the Mules settling back into a 2-3 zone defense. And now with 15 seconds to go, Gruber gets it picked from behind by Kantner. Kantner up the other way, lost it out of bounds, and Muhlenberg will get it right back.
Opportunity there for Muhlenberg to pull within 1. Great defensive play by Jaden Kantner. Little carelessness by Maddox Gruber.
Gruber looked to the bench to see what Mike Colgan wanted to do, and Kantner picked his pocket. Now, Tommy McFadden will check back in. So, too, will Luke Levan. Jeff Collado back in for Muhlenberg. And also into the game for the Mules is freshman Ryan Hutchinson.
Got some line changes, Bob.
Yeah, well, the 1-2-2 with 10.6 to go in the quarter. Gruber gives it up for McFadden. He wants to give it right back to Gruber to avoid the trap. Trips, goes right between it. The Mules had a foul to give, and they do it on the trip. Gruber gets tripped up with 6.1 left to go in the quarter. You don't think this is playoff basketball. They're playing this like it's the fourth quarter. This is the first quarter, and they're working their way through fouls and timeouts with 6.1 to go in the first quarter.
Ryan Hutchinson, his first.
And now Gruber has it. Go off the screen, trying to get the shot off. Good if it goes in and out. And that will bring the first quarter to a conclusion. After 8 in West Lawn, it's Wilson 15, Muhlenberg 12. We'll take a timeout. Back with quarter number 2. High school basketball is presented by Savage Auto Group, and it's live on WEEU in Reading.
Looking for a game-winning play for your next tailgate or get-together? Score big this season with trays from Chick-fil-A. Delicious chicken nuggets and chicken strips, fruits and garden salads, chocolate chunk cookies, and their delicious mac and cheese. Make a play with Chick-fil-A and you'll be a winner every time. Visit Chick-fil-A at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Chick-fil-A voted America's favorite fast food restaurant.
Are your garage doors noisy, squeaky, or moving unevenly? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening and closing them? Don't be left sitting in the driveway. It's time for a tune-up from Overhead Doors. Starting at just $99, we'll inspect, lube, and adjust your garage doors so they operate smoothly. Call today and ask for a tune-up special from Overhead Door, your hometown garage door company since 1965. Overhead Door, we're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Welcome back to Wilson High School alongside Rich Scarcella. My name is Bob McCool. We start quarter number 2, Wilson and Muhlenberg in our regular season finale. Our high school basketball playoff coverage will begin on Monday night with a boys quarterfinal that will be at the arena at Santander Arena on Wednesday for a quadruple semifinal in the county championship games as well here on WE. And our free video stream will continue as well. Muhlenberg with the basketball as we start the second, down 15-12. Jaden Cantor trying to post up against Carell Akings. Tries to get a little body, gets a little contact. Doesn't get a whistle, but he gets the bucket.
Yeah, nice move inside against Akings by Jaden Cantor, the senior.
Again, Cantor now coming off the bench for the Mules as he has been for the last several weeks. Gets his first 2, and the Mules are now within 1 at 15-14 as Muhlenberg has scored 5 straight. First possession for Wilson, again, seeing that zone defense now for the Mules. 2-3 zone defense with Cantor and Killen out top. Wilson works it around the perimeter to the corner for Akings and back up top for Gruber. And around for Edom along with Levan and McFadden. Matt Colgin starting 5 back out there. Akings catch and shoot 3 from a long way, buried it.
Wow, that was a deep 3. Akings with his second 3 of the night.
And the
turnover.
Bulldogs force the turnover at the other end, or maybe give it gifted to them by the Mules, who turn it over for the 4th time. Trying to play a little fast. The Mules turn it back. And the Bulldogs with an 18-14 lead now after Carell Akings' second 3 of the ball game.
Yeah, Muhlenberg fast break. The pass went grazed off the rim and then went out of bounds. Wilson ball.
Akings now with 35 threes. Gruber trapped. Gives it up for Edom, who finds Levan, who dumps it for Akings, who flies. Missed it, partially blocked by Miller. It's out of bounds. Last touch by Akings. It's Muhlenberg basketball. Justin Armstrong, Eli Hemmings, the 2 sophomores, going to come back in now for the Mules. As Ryan Hutchison and I believe Jaden Cantor will come out. Yep, Cantor will come out. So the starting 5 back out there now for the Mules as well with 6:20 left to go in the first and a 18-14 Bulldog advantage. Killen gives it up for Collado, who gives it up for Hemming. And now around for Miller. And on a post-up, Killen gives it back on the lateral back to Miller. Fights his way inside, kicks it out, swinging around. Mules being patient. Step back for 3 from Killen is short. Rebounded by Hemmings on the weak side. Mules get another possession. Armstrong from the corner drives out towards the foul line, then drives and dumps, but Gruber takes it away. Gruber off to the races. Race to the finish. Gruber will win the race with a bucket.
Gruber sneaky quick. Beat the Mules down the floor for the transition basket.
Bulldogs lead is 6 again. Matches are largest at 20-14. 7 now for Maddox Gruber. 5:35 left to go in the half. 20-14, Wilson on top. Killen gives it up for Miller. Screen and roll isn't there for Collado, and the insertion pass is taken away by McFadden. Here come the Bulldogs back to the way, and again it's Gruber. This time he can't finish. Good job by Miller to hustle back and get the rebound. And now up ahead for Armstrong. Fends off a defender. Drives. Tries to shoot. Blocked by Levan. Picked up by McFadden. McFadden to the middle for Akings. Back to the wing. Gruber for 3. Yes.
Gruber knew it was going in. Turned around. As soon as he released it, turned around and headed down court. Akings with the assist.
Wilson's lead is now 9 and 10 for Maddox Gruber to go along with it. The 20th time of double figures for Gruber. Here's Hemmings with Gruber guarding him from behind. Goes around him on a nice drop step, but a foul. Hemmings made the bucket before that. Gruber fouls him. So the bucket doesn't count. Gruber gets called for the foul. That's the first foul of the game against Wilson. And an inbounds play coming up for Muhlenberg, which will get Jeff Jaden Cantner back in, and Jaden Perez also back in for Wilson. Collado and Armstrong come out. Inbounds pass for Killen. Drives on McFadden, and a reach-in called, I believe, on Akings, and if so, that'll be the first on Akings.
No, it's on McFadden.
It is on McFadden. First on McFadden, second on the Bulldogs, and again, Muhlenberg will inbound underneath. Cantner back to Miller, catch and shoot on the inbounds, no. Rebounded again by Hemmings, and this time the foul, I believe, is going to be a push-off, either Gruber or Edom. They were both there. It's on Gruber, it's his second, and it is.
And that could be trouble for Wilson here with 4:39 left in the second quarter. Zulinger comes in for Gruber, who already has 10 points.
And with 4:39 left to go in the first half, and Wilson on top by 9, Matt Colger in a position where he can get Gruber out of the game. Let's see how long he stays out. With Muhlenberg having the basketball. Hemmings, good drive, stop and score.
Nice, really nice. Eli Hemmings could if he could get to the basket and finish, he can be a problem for the Bulldogs here tonight.
There is a ton of potential in that young man.
You got that right.
Athletic, long, tremendous leaping ability, and he pulls the Mules to within 7 at 23-16 with his first field goal. Edom goes baseline, stripped by Miller. Ball's loose on the floor. Who's going to come away with it? Eventually, Miller gets down on it like it's a fumble on the football field and gets possession, and Muhlenberg will call a timeout to keep possession with 4:07 left to go in the first half.
That's the second timeout for the Mules, though, so early. That's a first turnover by Wilson this quarter.
4:07 left to go, and Muhlenberg calls the 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 4:07 left to go in the quarter, and the Bulldogs give up possession back to Muhlenberg, who's down 23-16. Again, Michael Miller diving on the football and coming up with it and then calling the timeout at the bottom of the pile. Matt Flowers opts to make this a second 30-second timeout.
Just got a text from somebody watching the Reading Governor Mifflin streaming game that has not started yet. Bob, you'll be surprised because of senior night activities.
There you go. They're very surprised by that. We have dodged that for the season. There will be no senior night activities in the postseason, Rich Garcella. I promise you that.
The WEEU broadcast crew has not seen a senior night this year. And there's reason to celebrate.
Yes, because we've paid our dues. Jaden Cantner, Eli Hemmings, Michael Miller, Jaden Perez, Shamar Killen for the for the Mules. After the timeout, Hemmings going to back down a defender, gives it up instead for Killen. Going to try to back down to McFadden, turn around in the paint for a baby hook and 2.
Tough. Killen is so tough and so strong inside. McFadden, again, tight defense, but Killen just a little bit too strong.
4 straight now for the Mules to get it to within 5 as Killen's in double figures for the 20th time this season, and this the 22nd game for the Mules. 23-18, Wilson on top. They've got the basketball. John Edom trying to drive his way through and then kick it out for McFadden. Catch and shoot corner 3 is an air ball and rebounded by the Mules. Mules on a 4-0 run and looking for more. Cantner in the open floor right at Levan and just off the rim. Putback is no good. John Edom pulls down the rebound, threw it out to Akings, but it's poked away and ends up in the hands of Hemmings, who scores for 2.
That's a 6-0 run and another steal, Bob.
By Hemmings, ends up with it, stolen right back by Zulinger. Steals both ways, ends up back in the hands of the Bulldogs. With the Mules on a 6-0 run, they've cut it to within 3.
You can tell how important Maddox Gruber is to the Bulldogs. Since he went to the bench with 2 fouls, Muhlenberg on a 6-0 run.
Levan try to kick it out, taken away by Killen. Long pass up ahead for Cantner, and he'll wait for help. Smart play by Cantner. Kicks it back from Miller. Right at Levan, off the glass, too strong.
Levan definitely altered that shot.
2:25 to go in the half. Bulldogs, Akings 3, no. Rebound on the weak side. Edom dumped it off for Levan and 2.
What a heads-up play by Edom and Zulinger.
And inside for Levan for the bucket. And that ends the run. Here's Perez for a long 3 as well, long on the rebound as well. Akings on the catch and the run out for Wilson. Up ahead for Levan and 2.
They're getting the ball to Luke Levan. He's got 6 this half. Great find by Akings.
And all of a sudden, Wilson's lead is back up to 7 again at 27-20.
Those 2 baskets by Luke Levan, remember that. It was 23-20, until he scored those 2 baskets.
And with that, the Mules had been on a 6-0 run. That quickly, it's a 4-0 run thanks to Luke Levan and the Bulldogs. Killen drive, kicks it back for Cantner. Cantner drives up and under, no. Rebounded by Zulinger. Up ahead for Edom. Edom in the open floor. Going to pull up for the right elbow jumper.
Wow.
Pure.
And also, this is buying time for Matt Cauldron to keep Maddox Gruber on the bench with 2 fouls. Wilson's lead extends to 9.
They went, as Rich said, they went out with a 9-point lead. It went down to 3. It's right back up to 9 again. 29-20 with 1:10 to go in the half. Mules made their push. Wilson pushed right back. Post up, Hemmings. Fade away. Off the glass, no. Tipped around into the hands of Levan. Here comes McFadden. Up ahead for Edom. Right back for McFadden. Bad pass taken away by Muhlenberg. Hemmings back for Killen. Killen in the open floor. Lost the handle. Dumps it back for Hemming, who lays it in.
Yeah, he was close to going out, but neither official was down there. Could not tell whether Miller was on the baseline or not.
6 points now for Eli Hemmings, all in this second quarter. Pulls the Mules back to within 7 with 30 seconds to go in the half. Matt Cauldron would like one last shot. Akings, however, drives, lost the handle, taken away by Cantner. Mules right back the other way. Cantner across half court is bumped and fouled. The pace is wild.
The pace is to Muhlenberg's liking.
Absolutely.
They just haven't been able to make shots. I think Matt Cauldron is not happy that Wilson shot the ball a little too early. He wanted them to hold the ball until they'll take the last shot of the half, and that didn't happen. Wilson with 6 turnovers this quarter.
John Edom gets called for the foul, but Sam Zulinger is going to steal the inbounds pass. Up ahead, we'll dump it back for Glover off the glass. No, tipped. Edom has it. Edom right back up for 2.
John Edom with a big production.
And as a result of that, the Bulldog lead is now 10 with 2 seconds to go. Killen drives and scores to beat the buzzer.
Wow.
Jamar Killen drives, lays it off the glass for 2. And as a result, we will head to the locker room, and the score, the Wilson Bulldogs 31, the Muhlenberg Muhls 24, a wild finish to the second quarter. We've got more high school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group when we come back to West Lawn. Again, the score at the break, Wilson 31, Muhlenberg 24.
Elite Fuel Services has been one of Berks County's best-kept secrets for more than 20 years. They're a full-service heating and cooling company. Not only do they deliver heating oil, propane, diesel fuel, and gasoline, Elite also has a full HVAC team that is ready to tackle any of your heating or cooling needs. Just a quick Google search away, Elite Fuel Service. Read the reviews and give them a call. You'll feel part of the Elite Fuel family, giving you the peace of mind you deserve.
Sure Stay Plus by Best Western offers a welcoming, comfortable stay for the business or leisure traveler, providing clean and cozy rooms at a reasonable price. Conveniently located at the intersection of Route 12 and North 5th Street in Reading, Sure Stay Plus provides a fresh, hot breakfast buffet, all-day coffee, free fast Wi-Fi, HD TV, fridge and microwave, and much more. Plus, business travelers have access to services such as copying and a meeting space. Call 610-371-0500 to book your stay or visit bestwestern.com.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's potato chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle-cooked chips so much, he turned his kitchen in Berks County into the ultimate snack factory. Now, 60 years later, we're still crafting our chips with the same passion and the finest ingredients, right where it all began. Diefenbach's potato chips, available in all your favorite flavors when you need that PA-crafted crunch.
Since 1970, Redner's Markets has grown thanks to the Berks County community. Your continued commitment is rewarded by becoming a part of their Redner's Rewards program. Shopping at the markets earns you big savings with grocery deals, special offers, and surprise savings from your favorite employee-owned shopping center. Rewards members save at the pump, too, with discounts on fuel prices at Redner's Quick Shops and many more select locations. Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's Rewards program. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
Tonight's halftime show is brought to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. When you need a plumber, get a good one. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Lincoln Plumbing has the experience to help from a leaky faucet to a whole bathroom remodel. Call 610-376-0863 for Lincoln Plumbing and Heating as honest as their name. Alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. A very entertaining first half, ragged at times, spectacular at others. It's high school basketball here in Berks County, and it pretty much has summed up Division I as well throughout this season, as well as the first half of tonight's game. And after 2 quarters, it is the Bulldogs on top of the Mules by a score of 31-24. It's back and forth through most of the first quarter before the Bulldogs pulled away at the end of the first and into the second, opened up a 9-point lead. But at that point in time, Maddox Gruber picked up his second foul for Wilson, checked to the bench with 10 points of Wilson's 23 at the time. And all of a sudden, the Mules went on a 6-0 run. But that quickly, Wilson righted the ship. They got a couple of buckets from Luke Levan. They forced a couple of turnovers as well. And with that, the lead is 7 at the break, 31-24. And again, this is the scenario for Wilson and Muhlenberg. Wilson's already in. They know that, but they want to play better and be going in with the win after losing 3 straight league and division games in the last week and a half. Muhlenberg on the other side has to win to get into the BCIW playoffs. If not, then they have to get help from Reading High, who's just getting going with Governor Mifflin at the Geigel. So the Mules know this. They have to win this ball game, and they're in. They want to control their own destiny, and that's how you have to do it, by winning tonight's game. But they've got work to do now as they'll start the third quarter down by 7.
Yeah, let's start with Wilson, Bob. I think Matt Cauldron has to have liked what he saw from his team in the first half, with the exception of getting caught in Muhlenberg's pace and tempo and throwing the ball away. Usually it was in transition. Had 6 turnovers in the second quarter, just like Muhlenberg. Other than that, they're getting production from not just Maddox Gruber, 4 points from John Edom, and 6 points from Luke Levan. That's a big thing. And they're winning the rebounding battle. Second, for Muhlenberg, I think Matt Flowers has to like the aggression from Shamar Killen. He has 12 points already.
Correct.
Compared to what he have against
9.
In the first meeting. Michael Miller also aggressive. Really, Muhlenberg has also turned the ball over that quarter. Some sloppy errors. But Muhlenberg has shot just 11 for 29 from the floor here in the first half. Wilson, on the other hand, at 50%, 13 for 26. Really, that's the difference in the game.
You're listening to high school basketball on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading. And before we dive a little bit further into half number 1, just want to look ahead a little bit. We've had this question asked to us a lot, especially over the last week, as more and more people are finding out about our video coverage on WEEU. We've been having it since August with our football coverage, and more people are finding out about it. Our coverage on the video side, as well obviously as on the radio side, will continue into the postseason and the Berks County playoffs next week. We'll have a quarterfinal on the boys side on Monday night, 7 o'clock. Once the seedings are determined, that'll all shake out for both the girls and the boys. The BCIAA seeding meetings will take place on Thursday. The girls' quarterfinals are Saturday at the higher seeds. Boys, same thing, Monday night at the higher seeds. We will have one of those games for you Monday night at 7. And then the semifinals, girls and boys, will be a quadruple header starting at 4 o'clock at Santander Arena. It's a 1-ticket price, by the way. If you want to go to Santander Arena and watch it, it's 4 games for $10. Pretty good deal. For all 4 games, it's a 1-ticket deal. You can see 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you can't make it there, we'll have the coverage for you. Our video coverage as well from the arena. We'll start that at 3:45 with the 2 girls and the 2 boys semifinals. And then, of course, Friday night on February 14th will be the county championship games for the girls and the boys. 6 o'clock for the girls, 8 o'clock for the boys, and we will have those for you as well here on WEEU.
The boys and the girls seedings in field will be set sometime Thursday. If there is a coach's challenge meeting, it will be Thursday night at 6 o'clock. If there is no coach's challenge meetings, then the BCIA will go by the District 3 power ratings at noon on Thursday. They will be pulled by basketball chairman Tom Legath of Exeter. So we won't know until sometime Thursday what the pairings will be Saturday for the girls' quarterfinals, or what the boys' quarterfinals pairings will be, and we don't know what game we'll have until Thursday.
Right.
We have an idea. We're trying to piece things together.
Yeah, we've got an option here and an option there, depending on how the pairings ultimately shake out.
Yeah, but really, we won't know. We'll have a little better idea after tonight, but we really won't know until Thursday.
Yeah, the teams will know whether they're in or not. They just won't know who they're going to play or not based upon those seedings.
We know
after tonight's games are over.
We know who the 8 teams in the girls' field are: Wilson, Governor Mifflin, Reading. I'm trying to think.
Twin Valley.
Twin Valley, Conrad Weiser, Wyomissing, Schuylkill Valley, and Ole Valley.
Correct.
They're the 8 teams.
Yep.
How they'll be seeded, we'll find out Thursday.
It's all coming to fruition. And again, our coverage will continue here both on the radio and our video coverage will continue as well into the county playoffs, and then the district playoffs will follow after that as well. But we'll have it for you here on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading. We're going to take a timeout, back with more of our Lincoln Plumbing and Heating halftime show right after this.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent is Cross Keys Insurance. Get a quote today at crosskeysins.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show continues. Wilson 31, Muhlenberg 24. All 5 Bulldogs starters have scored in this one. Maddox Gruber leading the way with 10 before coming to the bench with 2 fouls in that second quarter. Grell Akings with a couple of threes has 8. Luke Levan with a couple of big buckets in that fourth quarter after Muhlenberg made a run at Wilson. Ends up with 6 first-half points. John Edom scored the last 4 points of the half for the Bulldogs and finishes with 4. And Tom McFadden with 3. For Wilson and their total of 31. For the Mules, they are led by Shamar Killen with a big night so far, already in double figures with 12. 6 for Eli Hemmings, all of them coming in the second quarter, and then 2 each for Justin Armstrong, Michael Miller, and Jaden Kantner, and the Mules total of 24. 31-24 is our score. Wilson on top of Muhlenberg as we get set to start half number 2, which is presented to you in part by Cross Keys Insurance, an independent insurance agency that can help you find the right policy for auto, home, business, or life insurance needs with offices in both Reading and Hamburg. Cross Keys Insurance will be the key to your security. 31-24 again is our score. Wilson on top of Muhlenberg. And I'll be curious, we were flies on the wall as to what the locker room conversation was. I guarantee you for Mike Flowers, who can light a fire under anybody, but I guarantee you it was like, look, you got 16 minutes. You got 16 minutes to qualify for the county playoffs. Go get it done. And I would imagine for Matt Coldren, it had a lot to do with slow down and take care of the basketball.
Absolutely. And, I mean, those last 4 minutes were key. Without Maddox Gruber in the game for Wilson, with sitting on the bench with 2 fouls, they were able to almost maintain the lead until Shamar Killen's basket at the end of the half.
Muhlenberg double teams out high. They trap McFadden. It leaves Levan open. McFadden finds him. And with that, Wilson's lead matches its largest. 33-24 Bulldogs, 8 now for Levan.
That's a really good sign for Wilson that Luke Levan already has 8 points, and he's definitely more aggressive.
Killen off the screen, drives at Levan, misses. Levan pulls down the rebound, and the Mules come up empty on their first possession of the second half. Wilson with a chance to have its first double-digit lead if they can cash in. 45 seconds into the third. Akings off the Levan screen, trapped out high. Killen knocks it loose. Ball's on the floor. Killen goes down and gets it, tied up by Levan. They'll go to the possession arrow.
Should be Muhlenberg ball. Wilson had the ball to begin the half.
That's correct. Possession arrow favors the Mules. Great job by Killen to strip it, and that'll go down as another Bulldog turnover, their 10th.
I think if you ask Matt Coldren, that was too much dribbling by Corell Akings. He really didn't know what wasn't sure what to do, if he was going to attack, go to the basket, or pass, and Muhlenberg forced the turnover.
Jeff Collado, Eli Hemmings, Justin Armstrong, Michael Miller, Shamar Killen, the 5 who start for the Mules. They've got the basketball down by 9. Again, the little toss back to Killen. Around for Hemmings, and now for Miller on the left wing to Hemmings. Kicks it back for Collado, gives it right back to Hemmings. And now a long pass, great, almost threw it out of bounds. Killen saved it, but ended up right back to McFadden. The Mules give it right back. McFadden, John Edom, Luke Levan, Maddox Gruber, Corell Akings, the 5 for the Bulldogs who start. Inside feed to Levan, stripped and fouled from behind by Collado.
That's tough matchup for Collado. Levan was open. Great find by Gruber. Collado with the foul.
First on Collado, first foul against the Mules in half number 2. Wilson will inbound underneath. McFadden is the inbounder, trying to get Levan open. Gives it up for Gruber. Right elbow jumper, pulls up and scores.
Over the taller Eli Hemmings. Great jumper by Maddox Gruber.
Wilson's lead does indeed reach now double figures at 11. Gruber with 12. 35-24. Wilson on top. Danger zone time here for the Mules to stay within her arm's reach. Miller at a post-up, kicks it out, swinging around. Collado right back to Armstrong, sets the screen. Armstrong nowhere to go. Kicks it back for Hemmings. Off the Miller screen, gives it up. Miller goes baseline, looking for some help. Good defense by Wilson. Just
really
nothing
good
there.
half-court defense here by the Bulldogs. Very tight.
Muhlenberg being patient, but they're down by 11. Armstrong catches it, tries to put up the three, changes his mind as Gruber closes out on him. It was a turnover waiting to happen for Muhlenberg, and they did.
Textbook defense by Wilson on that Muhlenberg possession. There was no room for the Mules anywhere. Bulldogs forced the turnover.
35-24 it remains. Here comes the 1-2-2 now for Muhlenberg after the turnover. With Hemmings out tall at the top. McFadden and Gruber working across half court. Gruber, long three, buried it. Gruber is feeling it.
That was near the volleyball 8-foot line, which is near half court.
Yeah, that was Steph Curry range.
Woo!
That's what that was. 38-24, Gruber with 15. His second three of the night. 42 now on the season.
This is do or die time for the Mules right now, down 14.
Collado goes at Levan, then spins around him and scores 2.
They desperately needed something there on offense, and Collado gave it to them.
His first 2 of the night. And it pulls the Mules to within 12 now at 38-26 with 5 minutes to go in the third. Edom gives it back for McFadden as they run the double post. He's trying to free up Akins. Trying to drive on Armstrong. Up off the glass. No. Tipped. Armstrong has the rebound. Push out up ahead for Killen. Ahead of the pack will lay it in for 2.
Yeah, that's really key there. Those 2 baskets by the Mules because Wilson was threatening to pull away.
4-point pushback, as Rich said, by the Mules. Pulls it to within 10 at 38-28. 2 more for Killen, gives him 14 now on the night. Gruber looking for Levan inside. Can't get it over the long arms of Eli Hemmings, so he keeps it himself. Now they close out on him. Gruber knows Levan's got to be open somewhere. Just can't see him. Swings it back now to McFadden instead. And into the corner for Akins. Up high, Edom thought about the three. Great look inside for Levan. Fouled by Collado.
That's a terrific pass by Edom. Collado was guarding him, but there was an opening. He got the ball to Levan, and Collado was forced to foul.
Oh, he said about Matt Coldren's conversation with his team at halftime and about possessing the basketball better. It also included feed the post.
No doubt about it. Luke Levan's having a very strong game, following up the performance he had against Reading. Very active.
And Levan at the free throw line after Collado's second foul. Luke misses the first of 2. Just a 52% free throw shooter. Jaden Kantner now will check in for the Mules. And Collado, who just picked up the second, comes out. Also, Jaden Perez comes into the game for Muhlenberg, and Justin Armstrong out.
Bob, here's something I found out as Luke Levan takes his second foul shot and misses. He has 8 points. When Luke Levan scores in double figures, the Wilson Bulldogs are 6-0.
That's an interesting combination.
Yes, it is.
He's got 8 right now, but he missed 2 free throws, or we could have said the game's over because that would have given him time. If your theory holds up, that is. Killen and Muhlenberg may have something to say about that. He pulls up a right elbow. No. Cam Zulinger just checked in for Wilson. Deflects it. Levan picks it up. Outlet for Edom is a layup for Wilson.
Fast break again. Wilson will attack you in transition if they get the opportunity.
Ends the 4-0 run for Muhlenberg. The lead is 12 again for Wilson at 40-28. Post up Killen. Backs down McFadden, goes right at him, misses. Rebound by Zulinger. Zulinger dribbles his way out of traffic and now gives it up for McFadden, who takes it across half court with 3:15 to go in the third. Gruber looks inside for Zulinger, right back to Maddox. Outside 3 is short. Long rebound is deflected out of bounds, and last touch by Gruber. Michael Glover will come in, give Luke Levan a breather with 3:07 left in the third. Wilson on top by 12. 40-28 Bulldogs, their largest lead.
think it was 14 was their largest.
You are
drop,
correct. It was 14. Here's Hemmings posting up down low against Edom. Misses the shot. Miller with a rebound. Kick out. Perez will drive. Off balance. Leaner off the glass high for two.
Michael Miller has gotten the ball near the basket several times during the third quarter, and he's been reluctant to shoot. I think he needs to be a little more aggressive offensively for the Mules.
40-30 as Jaden Perez first two of the game comes now inside of 2:35 left to go in the third. Inside look for Glover. Tried to spin around, slipped and fell and lost the basketball out of bounds. Turnover Wilson. Nice drop step move by Michael Glover, but unfortunately slipped and fell. And Wilson will turn it over. Carell Akings back in for the Bulldogs as John Edom comes out. So it's Glover, Zulinger, Akings, McFadden, and Gruber on the and Zulinger on the floor for Wilson.
Bob, I don't want to exaggerate this, but these 2.5 minutes are very critical for the Mules. They've got to stay in this game somehow to have a chance in the fourth quarter.
Killen trying to find something inside, almost lost it. Regains possession, out to Miller and back inside to Killen. Trying to get by McFadden, who just will give him an inch. He forces his way in and forces the foul. Shamar Killen's just saying exactly what Rich is thinking. We're in danger zone here. I want the ball.
Yeah, he has to get it. And Michael Miller, the same thing. He's gotten chances near the basket. He's got to look to score.
McFadden gets whistled for the foul. It's his second. Shamar Killen will shoot two.
McFadden Killen has 14 points, but McFadden is doing a terrific job defensively. Because once Killen gets the ball low, he's almost impossible to stop. McFadden's done a terrific job tonight.
Killen a 76% free throw shooter on the season, but missed the first one hard off the back iron. Kind of takes a breath and composes himself, working hard on the offensive glass. And it works because he makes the second. 15 for Shamar Killen, makes it a 9-point difference in favor of the Bulldogs. 40-31, inside of 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. High post is Glover. Turns, kicks it for McFadden. To the corner for Akings. Nothing there, gives it back for McFadden. High post again is Glover, right back to McFadden. Spins in traffic and lost it out of bounds. Turnover again for Wilson.
Yeah, empty trips aren't good, and that was an empty trip. There was an opportunity for McFadden to get to the basket. He just lost control.
Chance for the Mules to climb a little closer. Killen drives inside. They're going to call the block on McFadden, and that's his third.
Yeah,
tried to draw the charge and didn't get the whistle.
Yeah, his feet were not set.
Yep.
I agree with that call.
So number 3 on McFadden. It will not be a shooting foul, I don't believe, or is it? I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah,
Shamar Killen is going to shoot 2. Second team foul as well on the Bulldogs, but the bigger concern is the 3 on McFadden. Does Matt Coldren opt to change the next time down the floor and get McFadden off of Killen with the 3 fouls?
Well, you know Killen is going to touch the basketball. He touches it almost every possession. So how much gamble are you willing to take?
John Edom at the scorer's table, and he might be the answer. He may come in and give McFadden a breather and get him off the floor with the 3 fouls.
At least for these last 94 seconds of the quarter.
Killen, in the meantime, at the free throw line, makes the first of 2. Helps the Mules creep a little closer.
They were down 14, have a chance here to make it 7, and Killen makes it 7.
40-33, as Mules have now run off 5 in a row with 1:30 left to go in the third. Gruber, Akings, Zulinger, Edom, and Glover, the 5 on the floor right now for Wilson. Out high is Glover, right back to Gruber. Gruber drives, floater is way short, deflected up in the air. Killen has it. He's going to run the other way. Shamar Killen dumps it off beautifully for Hemmings, and it's a 2-point bucket. Beautiful transition basketball for the Mules, and Eli Hemmings got 8. Shamar Killen with a dish.
Quite a few empty trips for the Bulldogs. Too many have allowed the Mules to get back in this game. They have the Wilson lead down to 5.
Inside of a minute left to go in the third. Wilson with possession and clinging to a 40-35 lead. They trap Zulinger. Taken away, but Zulinger gets it right back. Dumps it for Akings. Blocked by Miller. Loose on the floor. Muhlenberg picks it up. Back the other way on a 3-on-1 is Killen. Feeds it for Hemmings, and it's another layup.
and it's down to 3. Again, Wilson unable to score. Let's see if they can hold the ball here for the last 30 seconds.
Shamar Kill and Eli Hemmings combining for the buckets, and it's a 3-point game with now 20 seconds left in the third.
That was Hemmings with the block, right? That was a 4-on-1, and Hemmings got the block to stop the Wilson score.
40-37. Wilson wants one last shot to finish the third. Muhlenberg trapping every chance they can. Aking's a long way from the basket with 5 seconds to go. Tries to drive, kicks, deflected, taken away by Muhlenberg, and that will end the third quarter. Muhlenberg's defense comes up big. It turns into offense. We'll head to the fourth with Wilson still on top. 8 minutes left to go in West Lawn. The score, Wilson 40, Muhlenberg 37. We're back with those final 8 on WEEU in Reading.
They say dogs are man's best friend, so they deserve the very best. Houndstown in Reading is a full-service dog daycare and boarding facility with spacious rooms, quality grooming, and plenty of room for fun. While you're away, the dogs will play. Houndstown has all the enrichment your pet needs for their physical and social health. They offer a variety of spa services like baths, nail trimming, toothbrushing, and dematting. Give Fido the finest at Houndstown, 610-947-1441, or visit houndstownreading.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
Muhlenberg on a run to finish the third. They outscore Wilson 13-9 in the third quarter, cut it to a 3-point game. That's the score in West Lawn, 40-37. Wilson on top. Rich Garcella has an update from the Geigel.
The score from the Geigel complex after one quarter. Governor Mifflin 22, Reading 11. So, regardless of what Muhlenberg does here, if Reading loses, Muhlenberg is in the county playoffs. Muhlenberg wants to make its own destiny, though. They don't want to put it in somebody else's hands.
And as with that, Wilson will again turn it over on their first possession here in the quarter. Shamar Killings drives, and a whistle and a foul on the drive. What's the whistle going to go? Killen.
It's a block. He called a block.
On Gruber.
But he called a continuation,
so
too.
the bucket counts, and a foul on Gruber. So the chance for Killen to tie the ball game up now at the line. It's also the third on Gruber.
No doubt it was a block. I'm not sure that it was a continuation. That would be my opinion on it, but no doubt it was a blocking foul.
So Shamar Killen count the bucket. He's got 19 and a chance if he can get to 20 here. We have tied the basketball game up, and right now Muhlenberg is on a 9-0 run pending
I
a
think
free
it's
throw.
11. It was 28, 40-28.
You're right. You are correct.
And now it's 12.
As Killen ties it at 40 apiece after Wilson turns it over on their first possession of the fourth quarter.
Muhlenberg playing with a greater sense of urgency than Wilson, no doubt about it. Here we go, another turnover.
And Kantner takes it away. Back the other way on a 2-on-1. Miller for the lead. It's good.
Yeah, Kantner with a great dish to Michael Miller for the basket. Muhlenberg has the lead. We've seen this before, Bob. Wilson goes into these offensive funks, and they've done that over the last 5 minutes or so.
42-40. Muhlenberg now on top, and it's turnovers that are killing the Bulldogs right now.
Yeah, it's a
and there's a block on Kantner, try to draw the offensive foul. Gets called for the block instead. First foul on Kantner, first foul on the Mules here in the fourth. 7:03 still to play. Wilson now inbounds, trailing by 2.
Bob, I'll say this, and this is no reflection on Michael Glover, but the game changed when Luke Levan went to the bench, and that's the regular rotation. That's not anything that Matt Cauldron hasn't done before.
And there's Gruber trying to drive through a trap. Miller picked his pocket. Miller ahead of the pack. Blocked from behind by McFadden. And now we're getting a whistle. This might be a goaltend. No, it's a timeout.
What a block. That was Luke Levan.
No, it was McFadden.
Was it McFadden?
It was McFadden. Trust me, it was
Okay.
McFadden. Just skied over everybody. Levan was there. McFadden came from nowhere and blocked that shot.
Matt Flowers is arguing that it was goaltending.
Yeah, the Mules wanted a goaltend.
Yeah.
Matt Cauldron wanted a call on the other end of the floor, and so he called a timeout. His team desperately needs that timeout. First timeout taken by the Bulldogs tonight with 6:45 left to go in the ball game. And Wilson, once on top early on in the third quarter by 14, now trails by 2. So a 30-second timeout for the Bulldogs with 6:45 to go. And
it's really, Bob, it's the sloppiness.
Yeah, turnovers.
Wilson has 7 turnovers this half after 9 in the first half. And it's one thing that, that Matt Flowers said for Muhlenberg. They had to take care of the basketball. They've done a pretty good job here in the second half. They only have 2.
Wilson, 3 possessions so far here in his fourth quarter. All 3 have been turned over.
I think
they have it again.
I think guys are trying to do too much. That's what I think. They're trying to dribble through 2 and 3 defenders.
Speaking of 2 and 3, how about a 2-3 zone defense for Muhlenberg after the timeout by Wilson? High post, McFadden turns, looks, nobody's covered him, shoots the foul line jumper, no. Fight for the rebound. Kantner comes away with it for Muhlenberg. Kantner pushes it up the floor, drives, fakes the pass, strives, blocked by Edom. Back-to-back blocks now on the defensive end by Wilson, and McFadden has it back for the Bulldogs. First one was by McFadden, that one was by Edom, and Wilson has it back. Still looking for their first points here in the fourth quarter.
Can't remember the last time they scored, but it's been a while.
Baseline 2, and there it is by Levan. 10 for Luke Levan, and we're tied at 42. First tie since it was 7-7. 5:49 left to go in the ball game, tied at 42.
That stopped a 14-0 Muhlenberg run.
Shamar Killen, Jaden Kantner, Jaden Perez, Michael Miller, and Eli Hemmings, the 5 on the floor right now for the Mules. Hemmings posting up, guarded by Akings. Drop step, got some too far underneath and throws it out of bounds. Muhlenberg will turn it back.
Just Muhlenberg's first turnover of the fourth quarter and just its third of the second half.
Yeah, the turnover column was tied at 9-9. They were both even with 6 turnovers apiece in the second quarter. It got really ragged at the tail end of the second quarter. Right now it's 42-42, and after Muhlenberg's turnover, the Bulldogs have it back, looking to regain their lead. 5:15 to go in the ballgame. Mules out of that zone now in a man-to-man.
I like this defense better.
Post up down low is Akings, trying to find a way, nothing there. Kick out Edom for 3, no. Rebounded by Miller. Inside of 5 minutes to go. Mules have it back. Again, we're tied at 42.
Muhlenberg playing for the county playoffs. With a win, they get in. With a loss, they have to depend on Governor Mifflin to defeat Reading.
Killen trying to back down McFadden. Turnaround jumper off the glass, high for 2 more.
Terrific post-up move by Shamar Killen.
5 in the quarter, 22 on the night for Shamar Killen. 10th time this season he's topped 20 points. Puts the Mules back up on top, 44-42. McFadden off the screen, gives it back to the open Levan. Around for Akings, off the screen, poked out of bounds by Killen. It'll stay Wilson basketball.
Right now, Wilson's got a match, as Matt Coulter said before the game, Muhlenberg's grit and toughness. That's what it's come down to here in the second half after Muhlenberg's made this run to gain the lead.
They play with the intensity of their coach, who's barking the orders on defense. Gruber, bad pass, deflected by Hemmings, taken away by Muhlenberg. Up ahead for Kantner, goes right at Edom, blocked by Edom on the other end. Right back to Wilson. Another big block by the Bulldogs. McFadden to Gruber, bumped and fouled by Miller.
Yeah, I think the Wilson bench on the turnover was asking for a travel, and I think Hemmings got away with a travel, but regardless, Edom with a couple of big blocks here in the fourth quarter.
Wilson has had 3 huge blocks defensively here. This could be a completely different story with Muhlenberg already on top by 2. But if it were not for the blocks by McFadden and Edom, it may be a completely different basketball game.
It's really Wilson's lack of offense and carelessness on offense that has allowed Muhlenberg to gain the lead here at 44-42.
And nearly a turnover again as Perez went for the steal, but a little bit too much contact is going to result in a foul instead.
Yep, it's on Perez. That's his second, or that's his first.
His first, team's third. So Muhlenberg still with a foul to give before they put the Bulldogs in the bonus. Wilson is not a great free throw shooting team at 64% on the season.
Bob, I'd like to see Luke Levan get the ball a little closer to the basket than outside the three-point arc, too.
Here's McFadden on a clear-out drive, stripped out of bounds. It's going to stay Wilson basketball. Jaden Cantner with the quick hands. 3:35 left to go. Wilson down by 2, inbounds underneath their own bucket.
Yeah, the story of this second half has been Muhlenberg's defense and Wilson's ineffectiveness on offense.
4 turnovers already in this fourth quarter for Wilson. We are just past the halfway mark. Gruber with the catch, the drive, nowhere to go. Kick out for Akings and around for Edom. Thought about pulling the trigger, decided not to.
Anytime Gruber penetrates, there's 3 Mules around him.
Akings for 3. The offense missing for Karel Akings in the second half, right up until then.
Hadn't scored since early in the second quarter with a 3. He's got 11.
We invite you with a timeout on the floor with 3:16 to go. Come visit your favorite spot in Laureldale. Shirley's Cafe and Tequila Bar. We know you're hungry. Shirley's has you covered. Nightly food and drink specials, including a wing special. You know, if you see a Sunday game that you would like to be maybe watching, if you can find one, Sunday football games from noon to 10.
Is there a game Sunday?
I've heard rumors. Come check out the great service and fun atmosphere. Shirley's Cafe for lunch and dinner any day of the week. 45-44 with the Karel Akings 3. The Bulldogs are back up on top with 3:16 left to go in the ballgame.
That was massive. Wilson has probably scored 5 points in the last easily 8 or 9 minutes of this game. The 2 by Levan and the 3 by Akings here in the fourth quarter.
So following Akings' bucket from beyond the arc, he has 11. 3 threes on the night, giving him 36 on the season, but more importantly, puts Wilson back up on top. Following the timeout, it's Cantner, Killen, Miller, Perez, and Hemming. Same 5 for the Mules. Wilson, as always, straight up man-to-man. We're about to hit 3 minutes to go. Cantner drives on Gruber, lost the handle, out of bounds. Turnover, Muhlenberg.
Yeah, Cantner's got to go quicker. He hesitated, and he lost control of the ball along the baseline. Just the 4th turnover of the half for the Mules.
So Wilson a chance to add to what is right now a 1-point lead. Inside of 3 minutes now left to go. McFadden, Gruber, Akings, Zulinger, and Levan. The 5 out there right now for Wilson. Trying to get inside to Levan. Jaden Perez denies him. Swinging around for Gruber, who runs right into Cantner, and that's going to be a foul on Cantner.
That's the 4th. More importantly, it's Cantner's 3rd, but it's 4th team foul on Muhlenberg. The next foul on the Mules, Wilson will be in the bonus.
With that, Justin Armstrong now will check in for the Mules, and Jaden Cantner will come out. Still a ton of time left in this game. 2:40 left to go. It was right around this time at the end of the second quarter where things got very ragged for both teams on turnovers and almost turned it over. Luke Levan picked it up, tried to put up a hook shot, line drived it off the front of the rim, and Michael Miller has the rebound from Muhlenberg.
Great defense by Muhlenberg, knocked the ball away from Gruber. It ended up in Levan's hands. He tried a baby hook and it missed.
And Muhlenberg has it back as a result. Double stack with Perez and Killen at the high post for Muhlenberg. Timeout, Muhlenberg. Matt Flowers not happy with whatever Muhlenberg was trying to run offensively. He'll call timeout. Comes with 2:16 left to go in the fourth quarter. Again, Muhlenberg with the basketball. Wilson with the lead at 45-45. Reminder, coming up after our live coverage here tonight, after our Pizza Como postgame show, Rich will have words with our winning coach, our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game, our American Diner play of the game, and then we'll turn things back to the WEEU studios for Jeff Nolan and Matt Knob for our scoreboard show tonight. Executive Director of the BCIAA, Carrie Ciato, will be joining the boys, and also the Benner sisters, Addison and Sophia from Brandywine Heights, will be joining in as well. It's all part of our scoreboard show, and of course, they'll fill you in on all the games on what is tonight the final night of regular season play for the boys' games in Berks County.
Bob, I got to think Matt Flowers, this is obviously every possession here for the rest of the way is massive. He's got to get killing the basketball somehow, some way. McFadden has 3 fouls, maybe picks up a 4th foul somehow on Tommy, but Shamar Killen's got to touch the ball here.
22 for Killen to this point with 2:60 to go. His Career high, he had 30 in a non-leaguer against Scranton Prep. Dropped 28 on the Red Knights in a game we had earlier this season. That was the game in Laureldale. Inbounds play comes to Killen. Gives it up immediately to Armstrong. Along with Perez, Hemmings, and Miller. Same five on the floor for Matt Flowers after the timeout. Again to the high post to Killen. Wrap around for Perez. Fakes the three, puts it on the floor, drives off balance for two.
Jaden Perez, not known for putting the ball on the floor and scoring, goes up, banks it in against Levan.
Lead back in the favor of the Mules, 46-45. 4 second half points for Jaden Perez. 1:45 left to go. Wilson has it back. McFadden trying to drive on Killen, collides and foul.
And it'll be a two, and he got hit. Yeah. I mean,
heads collided on that one.
Yeah, I think he collided with Shamar's arm. I mean, it was nothing intentional there. It was just a foul, but McFadden got the worst of that one.
It's a two-shot foul regardless because that puts the Bulldogs in the bonus. It's the first on Killen, and McFadden will shoot two. First, they want to make sure he's okay.
I don't think well, let's see. Is he bleeding? No, he's not bleeding because they'd be calling trainers out if he was.
But the officials are looking at him and looking directly in his eyes because he took the shot to the head. Just want to make sure there's clarity there for Tommy McFadden.
I'm going to guess Tommy McFadden took some similar shots like that on the soccer field where he was a standout for the Bulldogs.
He's also a pretty good foul shooter at 72%. He makes the first. His first points since a three-pointer back in the first quarter. That temporarily ties us at 46 with another free throw coming from McFadden. Substitution now. John Edom will check in for the Bulldogs, and Levan will come in. So much smaller lineup out there now.
I think quicker. I think Matt Colgin wants a quicker defensive lineup against the Mules. Mules don't have great size. I think you might see some line changes here the rest of the way, Bob.
McFadden misses the second, so we're tied at 46 as a result, with 1:35 left to go in the ballgame.
Is it possible for the Mules to hold the ball for 90 seconds? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think they can do it, and I don't think they can do it against Wilson's defense.
No.
That's a tough challenge in both capacities. Patient, perhaps. To the corner for Hemmings. Around for Miller. Miller wants Hemmings to come out. Aking's hounding him. They give it back for Armstrong. Down to 110. They've held it for 20. Miller has it on a clear out on the left wing, guarded by
Killen's
Edom.
got to get it here sometime soon.
He has to come all the way out to half court to do so. Inside of a minute to go. Gives it back instead for Armstrong. Gruber fights through the screen. So they've kept it for 35 seconds.
And why not another 50?
Matt Flowers has timeouts to give if his team gets tangled up as well, with now 45 seconds to go.
Yeah, Wilson has fouls to give. They have only one team foul here in the fourth quarter.
Armstrong out near half court. Matt Colgin calling for just that as Gruber's chasing.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Armstrong had a path to the basket and dribbled it back out.
They've taken a minute off the clock. There's inside of 25 now to go.
So mark me down is wrong.
Gruber picks the pocket. Ball is loose. Akings picks it up. Drives, spins, scores. Wilson
15
leads.
seconds left. Mark, that's the play of the game. Here we go.
Harrell Akings with the bucket. Maddox Gruber with the steal. And now a
team foul.
Timeout.
Foul on Zulinger. That's only Wilson's second team foul.
So Wilson back up 48-46, and now there is a timeout called on the play.
I'm not sure who called it out. Matt
they
Flowers
wanted a
is
foul.
complaining he wants the foul. I thought the ball was knocked away cleanly, and then there was a scrum for the ball. A lot of bodies going everywhere.
Muhlenberg, I'm checking to see who called the timeout. They're doing the same.
Muhlenberg
called the timeout.
Full timeout.
So with 10.1 to go, it'll be Wilson. It's a Wilson lead at 48-46. Muhlenberg will have the basketball.
So it was a Maddox Gruber steal
and an Akings
finish with 15 seconds left. Has given Wilson the 48-46 lead.
Could it be our American Diner play of the game? Well, we got 10 seconds left to figure that out.
We got a lot of time to figure that out. We got Muhlenberg's got 10 seconds. Anything can happen here.
48-46 Bulldogs. It's been a dramatic comeback by by Muhlenberg in this second half. And right now we're headed down to the wire. It'll be Muhlenberg basketball. Matt Colgin was checking to see exactly where they're going to get the ball at, which is right near us at the scorer's table.
Look for Wilson. They have two fouls to give. Look for Wilson to foul Muhlenberg here in the next 10 seconds. They got to be smart. Maddox Gruber has 3 fouls. Tommy McFadden has 3. So I'm going to guess it's going to come from somebody else. It might be John Edom, Corell Akings, or Cam Zullinger.
That's the 5 that are on the floor. Armstrong, Kantner, Hemmings, Killen, and Miller for Muhlenberg, who has the basketball just shy of half court. 10 seconds to go. In the hands of Kantner. Gives it up for Killen. McFadden guards it right back to Kantner, who drives, misses. Miller there for the putback. We're tied. And now a timeout called by Muhlenberg, and I don't think they wanted that.
No, I don't think they did either.
No, Michael Flowers instinctively called timeout after the bucket by Miller that ties it up. They're going to put 0.2 of a second left. That gives Wilson a shot.
The official just said 1.5 seconds is going to be on the clock.
So it gives Wilson a chance now, and that's why I said Matt Flowers, in hindsight, didn't want to call a timeout. He just did it instinctively.
But Michael Miller, who's been sort of quiet offensively, with the putback of the Jaden Kantner miss with 1.5 seconds left. That's what's on the clock.
So again, it gives the Bulldogs a puncher's chance here. They're going to draw up a play in the huddle. Muhlenberg is also out of timeouts by my count, just for what that's worth, with 1.5 left to go. So the Bulldogs do have to go the length of the floor here, but by calling that timeout, it gave the Bulldogs a chance because the clock theoretically could have run to zeros on the inbound.
Wilson has to be really careful here. They got to avoid a 5-second count, a turnover, because if there's a 5-second count, Muhlenberg's going to have the ball under the Muhlenberg basket.
48-48, 1.5 left to go. Are we headed to overtime, or is somebody going to pull a miracle at the finish? We told you that Division I was going to go to the wire. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the wire.
Crazy. What a heads-up play, though, by Mikey Miller with the putback of the Jaden Kantner miss. Because I thought Kantner's shot was going in. Rolls off the rim. Miller was there. Johnny on the spot. Puts it back.
McFadden will be the inbounder.
This is key because he can run the baseline.
They put Freddie Lacey at 6'3" in to guard that inbounds. To half court on the heave to Glover. Tap back for Gruber. Good if it goes. It's short. We're going to overtime.
Great call by Wilson. Everything but the shot worked on that play. Glover with the catch, the pass to Gruber. Gruber's shot short.
I have to tell you, just to give you a little bit of an insight, because we're right here at the benches. When they called that timeout, I found it very interesting. Adam Filer, the JV coach for Wilson, had the coach's whiteboard, and he had the play drawn up. Obviously, it's something he knew. Matt Coldren said, show him what you want to run. It was well done. They went to Glover, the All-State tight end, for the tap back to Maddox Gruber to give the shot. Was free.
And this isn't blaming anybody. No. I thought Maddox hurried his shot.
Right.
I didn't think he got his feet set. I think if he had gotten his feet set, he would have had a better chance of scoring. But I think he just, like, hey, I don't have much time here. I got to get rid of it. But there was still, I looked up as he caught it. There was over 1 second left. He just needed to get his feet set. But here we go to overtime, Bob. Muhlenberg with a terrific comeback. Rally from 14 points down in the third quarter to force overtime.
They outscore Wilson in entirety in that second half, 24-17, to tie it at 48 for 4 more minutes.
And at the Geigo, we have a halftime score. It's Governor Mifflin 35, Reading 31. So Muhlenberg, again, playing like it's Berks County playoff life depends on it, because it might. They need to win this game. They don't care about anything else. The Mules want to win this game.
I would tell you there's probably a lot of Berks County teams who are rooting for Muhlenberg as well, because they don't want to see Reading.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see Reading right now.
Halftime, and it was 31-24 Wilson. We start the overtime at 48 apiece. Jump ball is controlled by the Mules. Jaden Kantner will drive. He's fouled. No, tied up. Jump ball is going to give it right back to Wilson. That's Gruber's defense.
That's a terrific defensive play by Maddox Gruber.
Ties up Jaden Kantner as he drove at him. And on the jump ball, Wilson will get it back for their first possession of overtime. McFadden, Gruber, Levan, Edom, and Akings. The 5 out there for Wilson. That's their 5 starters. Hemmings goes for the steal from behind and commits the foul.
The fouls from the fourth quarter carry over, so Maddox Gruber will be going in the line to shoot 2.
First free throw for Gruber since the first quarter when he finished off a 3-point play. Maddox Gruber with 15 points did not score in the fourth quarter.
Bob, we talked about Maddox Gruber, how important it is and how it improves Wilson's chances when he gets to the line a lot. You made a great point. This is only his second trip to the line, first since the first quarter.
And his first points since the third. And that point in the third was a 3-pointer, as we said at the time, from Steph Curry range. Makes them both, and Wilson's lead is 2, 50-48 as a result, 17 for Maddox Gruber. Killen, Cantner, Miller, Hemmings, Perez, the 5 for the for the Mules. High post is Killen. Turns, faces McFadden, who's playing with 3 fouls. Calls Miller out to set the screen. They switch on the screen. Edom now guards Killen. Great find. Cantner underneath for 2.
Great cut by Cantner, but great pass by Killen.
Mark Killen with the dish. He's thrown some beautiful passes in this second half. And we're tied again at 50. 4 points for Jaden Cantner. 3 minutes left to go. Edom can't get by the defense of Jaden Cantner. Gives it back for Carell Akings instead. Akings brings Edom out to take the basketball. Mules this time in a straight-up man. Switch to a 2-3 a couple times. They went some 1-2-2 full court as well. Bulldogs showing patience again. Trying to find a seam in the Muhlenberg defense.
Muhlenberg's got to be patient on defense as well. They can't get frustrated or flustered. They got to stay within their system.
Screen and roll. They don't look for Levan. To the baseline for Akings and right back for Edom and back out high for Gruber. Gruber sees an opening, drives, dumps it off beautifully for Levan and a layup.
Terrific look by Maddox Gruber. Levan with 12 points.
We have seen some great finds in this game by both sides. Luke Levan puts the Bulldogs back up by 2 at 52-50. Gruber with the assist. Cantner, guarded by Gruber, tries to cross him over, drives on him instead. Not there. Battle for the rebound. Killen has it right back up and home for 2.
Great hustle by Shamar Killen. Ties it up.
It's 24 now for Killen. Ties the game with 52 with 1:45 left to play in overtime.
This is a great high school basketball game. Hope you're either listening or watching.
Technically, the playoffs start next week. But in reality.
Muhlenberg, this is the playoffs, to get in the playoffs.
For sure. Levan on the post-up, kicks it back. McFadden open for a corner 3 is money.
Massive basket by McFadden. Great find by Levan.
Up ahead, a foul. No, they're going to tie up. Levan ties up
Hemmings.
Wilson's
ball?
Possession arrow favors
wrong arrow. Yep.
1:23 to go. Wilson up 55-52 on the McFadden 3. Muhlenberg basketball. Matt Coldren wants the timeout.
Getting the Mats mixed up. Me too. I have to think twice before I say their names.
1:23 left to go. And again, each team gets an extra timeout in the overtime as well, which is good for the Mules because they were out of timeouts at the end of regulation. So again, we are in overtime now. Tom McFadden's 3 puts Wilson up by 3 with 1:23 to go.
Here's another factor. Wilson still with just 2 team fouls. They never used it
correct
in the last 10 seconds of regulation, which actually hurt them, allowed Muhlenberg to tie it. So they have 2 fouls to give. Whatever happens here, Muhlenberg needs a basket. They need a score. They don't need a 3. This same thing happened with Wilson at Reading. Wilson was down 3 with a little bit more than a minute to go after Wesley Rosario's steal and layup. You don't need a 3. You just need to score here.
That was in our game on Friday night at the Geigel. And again, the Bulldogs are right now trying to shake loose of a 3-game Division I losing streak. Lost to Berks Catholic, lost to Mifflin in double overtime, and then that 2-point loss at the Geigel on Friday. Trying to shake loose of that. They've got a 3-point lead here in overtime on their home floor against Muhlenberg, who has the basketball.
And then the possession will be in favor of Wilson after this ball's inbounded.
Inbounds for Perez. He'll shoot the 3. We're tied.
Jaden Perez, their best 3-point shooter. That was a deep one. That was right in front of the Muhlenberg bench.
55-55 as a result. The 31st of the season for Jaden Perez. Wilson basketball, 1:05 left to go.
Can the Bulldogs hold the ball for 60 seconds?
Screen and roll for Levan. One more pass. Aking's foul line jumper is 2.
Everything ran through Levan there. Pass from Levan to Akings puts Wilson up by 2.
50 seconds to go. Bulldogs 57, Mules 55. Kantner driving on Gruber, trying to get a shot off. Gets himself inside and ties it up.
Tough move by Jaden Kantner. I think Wilson holds for 1 here, Bob.
57-57. Matt Coldren calling for 1 with 35 seconds left to go in overtime.
And Muhlenberg cannot foul because Wilson is in the bonus. They can't afford to foul here. So Wilson's going to try to hold for 1.
They bring Akings to half court with inside of 20 seconds to go. Akings trap, bump, foul.
Yep, that's a good call.
They went for the steal. They got the contact.
Yeah, Hemmings with the foul.
Yep. Hemmings picks up his 3rd, but as Rich said, over the limit.
Yeah.
We'll put Carell Akings at the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Akings hesitated, but Hemmings bumped into him. There's no doubt about that. I know Matt Flowers is complaining. These are 2 big ones.
Akings at the free throw line, 64% on the season. First trip to the line tonight. 15 so far on the night for Carell Akings with 12 seconds left to go. First is good. Sam Zulinger will check in for the Bulldogs. Luke Levan will come out.
If Akings makes this, I think Matt Coldren has asked for a timeout. Told the official in front of us.
Carell Akings.
Because they have fouls to give. Don't forget.
Correct.
No, Matt, and that's what I think the message Matt wants to get to his players if Akings makes this.
Second is good.
Yep.
And here's the timeout.
There's the timeout. And that's, I'm sure, the message. They have 2 fouls to give with 12 seconds left. In the end of regulation, they had 2 fouls to give with 10 point something left, and they didn't commit the foul, and Muhlenberg got a shot and the putback by Michael Miller that sent this game to overtime. This is going to be a real critical message for Matt Coldren to his players.
And again, the idea behind that is you're just trying to string out that possession and try to keep it and run it down as far as you can towards zeros. And substitutions coming in for the Bulldogs at the stoppage. Joe Hauk, 6'1" senior, is going to check in
to foul. Basically
Absolutely.
a foul.
Because you got McFadden and Gruber both with 3 fouls. You don't want them to be in a situation where they commit a foul and get a 4th, just in case.
Right, just in case this goes to second overtime.
Right. So that's no doubt doubling down on what we're trying to tell you is the strategy, which is for Wilson, you've got fouls to give. You've got 2 fouls to give. So let him take a couple seconds off, commit a foul.
The thing is, Jaden Kantner is going to get the basketball, take the inbounds pass, unless they deny him. He's got tremendous speed. Let's see who's on him. They've got to catch up to him to foul him, because that's what happened a lot at the end of regulation. He dribbled past the defender, missed the layup, but Michael Miller put it back. Kantner's going to inbounds the pass, but I'm going to guess that he's getting the ball right back, either from Killen or from somebody else.
Killen will
Here
come.
we go.
He'll give it to him, and Kantner will go get it, and Hauk will foul him.
That's smart. Yep.
With 9.7, that's 1. They have another to give.
Yeah, that took off 3 seconds, almost 3 seconds.
McFadden will now come back in, and Hauk will come out.
And 1 more foul to give. So Hauk did his job, and he's getting a round of applause. He did his job.
Absolutely. Kantner will now inbound from half court and get it back with 8 seconds to go. Down by 2, the Mules have it, and there's the other foul called against Edom.
Yep, that's smart. That's only his 2nd, and Wilson's 4th.
So now they've just got to play defense because now there's 5.8 to go. Matt Coldren, you might have heard him in our crowd, Mike, saying, no more, as in no more fouls. Now they got to play defense for less than 6 seconds.
Took almost 7 seconds off the clock.
Inbounds for Kantner, gets by Edom. Kantner drives, partially blocked by Edom, recovered by Wilson, and a foul.
Edom with the block, his 3rd of the night.
How appropriate if this thing ends on that another block on the defensive end by Wilson may have saved the day on Kantner's drive to the bucket. Edom from behind blocked it.
And Kantner dribbled right past the defender. I don't know if it was, I think it was Gruber.
No, it was Edom. He recovered.
And so Edom recovered, excuse me. I mean, Kantner's being, consoled by his teammates, but really it was just a terrific defensive play.
.9 is what they'll put on the clock.
Yep.
So, again, there's a foul on the play.
We're not sure who fouled, though. I'm not sure who's going to the line and who committed the foul. That committed the foul is not important. It's who's going to the line. It's Tommy McFadden.
Wilson will shoot 2. That's also important because they can put this thing out of reach. Tommy McFadden will shoot 2 with 9/10 of a second to go.
Made 1 of 2 in the fourth quarter. Had a chance to kind of seal the deal, or at least give Wilson some more room. He's got a chance here to put the Mules out of reach.
First is good. That makes it a 3-point game, and this obviously would seal it if McFadden can make the second. Nine-tenths of a second left to go. And again, if McFadden makes this, it's a 2-possession game. Nope, pulled a string on it. And a timeout, Muhlenberg.
There's still time left.
Yeah, for sure.
There's still time. Less than a second. There was .9 left.
Right.
The officials are gathering together to see how much time's left.
So if this thing ends the way of the Bulldogs, it's a 3-point lead. And again, now they're going to decide. They're going to decide how much time is left on the clock.
0.5.
0.5 seconds left on the clock. The officials talk it over, find out how much time is left on the clock. Muhlenberg will inbound it. They've got to catch and shoot a 3 to tie it up. 2 doesn't help them. All they can do is get the 3 to tie it up.
Does Wilson foul here?
You can. That's the question.
Because,
correct. Because if you do, they shoot 2 at the free throw line.
But to get they're going to make 1.
Right.
And to get a tip in with
Correct.
0.5 is very difficult.
So that could very well be part of the strategy as well for Matt Colgan right now. So Muhlenberg has to go the length of the floor as well to just remember that.
Yeah, I don't know if they have time enough to throw, catch, turn, and shoot, but that's what it's going to take. Luke Levan's going to be on the inbound pass. Whoever throws it, it's going to be Jaden Cantor.
So put the tallest guy on the floor out in front of the inbounder just to have to make him struggle to see and release that throw as well. Hits the ceiling.
Hits the ceiling.
That's the advantage. But that's the advantage of Levan there.
Yes.
Because he's got to get it over Luke Levan, and he threw it so high. He hit the ceiling.
Wait. That's Wilson's ball.
Should be.
It hit. Yep, it is. It's Wilson's ball. And it should be 0.5. Yep. The clock moved, but it shouldn't have.
So they're going to reset the clock to 0.5. Wilson will inbound
They just
again.
need to touch it. They just need to touch.
And they do.
That's it.
And they win. Wilson will win it in overtime. The final score, the Bulldogs 60. Muhlenberg 57 in a hard-fought war here in West Lawn. Mules with a valiant comeback in the second half, but they come up empty in overtime, 60-57, and now they have to wait and find their fate, and that fate is lying at the Geiger right now between Reading and Governor Mifflin. We'll find all of that out in the postgame show presented to you by Pizza Como, and we'll have that when we'll take a timeout back to West Lawn after this.
Ahoy! Adelphia Seafood is your neighborhood market for the freshest seafood around, with locations in West Lawn, Fairgrounds Market, and Pottsville. They offer a range of delicious options from crab cakes, clams, fresh organic salmon, and succulent shrimp, as well as convenient take-home dinners and more. For more information or to place an order, visit adelphiaseafood.com or just call one of their stores. Enjoy top-quality seafood and exceptional service right in your community at Adelphia Seafood.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Welcome to the Pizza Como postgame show. Pizza Como is a family-owned business going strong on the Fifth Street Highway for over 50 years, serving the finest Italian dishes, Berks County's best variety of Italian sandwiches, and legendary pizza. Right next door is The Yard, a virtual golf experience to keep your game sharp all year round. And if you love sports cards and memorabilia, stop in to buy, sell, or trade. Pizza Como and The Yard, 4600 Fifth Street Highway in Temple. back and forth basketball game. Wilson jumped out to a big lead in this when they led it by 7 at halftime at 31-24. They were able to push that lead as much as 14 early on in the third at 38-24 before the Mules mounted the comeback. They got it to within 3 at the end of 3 at 40-37. And then we were tied at the end of regulation at 48-48. And Wilson ultimately wins it in overtime. The final score, the
Judd Firestone Plumbing is your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, our team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every time. From leaky faucets to the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams, we handle it all with professionalism and care. Call today at 610-678-9080. Judd Firestone Plumbing, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind.
Looking for a game-winning play for your next tailgate or get-together? Score big this season with trays from Chick-fil-A. Delicious chicken nuggets and chicken strips, fruits and garden salads, chocolate chunk cookies, and their delicious mac and cheese. Make a play with Chick-fil-A and you'll be a winner every time. Visit Chick-fil-A at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Chick-fil-A voted America's favorite fast food restaurant.
Are your garage doors noisy, squeaky, or moving unevenly? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening and closing them? Don't be left sitting in the driveway. It's time for a tune-up from Overhead Doors. Starting at just $99, we'll inspect, lube, and adjust your garage doors so they operate smoothly. Call today and ask for a tune-up special from Overhead Door, your hometown garage door company since 1965. Overhead Door, we're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Elite Fuel Services has been one of Berks County's best-kept secrets for more than 20 years. They're a full-service heating and cooling company. Not only do they deliver heating oil, propane, diesel fuel, and gasoline, Elite also has a full HVAC team that is ready to tackle any of your heating or cooling needs. Just a quick Google search away, Elite Fuel Service. Read the reviews and give them a call. You'll feel part of the Elite Fuel family, giving you the peace of mind you deserve.
Sure Stay Plus by Best Western offers a welcoming, comfortable stay for the business or leisure traveler, providing clean and cozy rooms at a reasonable price. Conveniently located at the intersection of Route 12 and North 5th Street in Reading, Sure Stay Plus provides a fresh, hot breakfast buffet, all-day coffee, free fast Wi-Fi, HD TV, fridge and microwave, and much more. Plus, business travelers have access to services such as copying and a meeting space. Call 610-371-0500 to book your stay or visit bestwestern.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
They say dogs are man's best friend, so they deserve the very best. Houndstown in Reading is a full-service dog daycare and boarding facility with spacious rooms, quality grooming, and plenty of room for fun. While you're away, the dogs will play. Houndstown has all the enrichment your pet needs for their physical and social health. They offer a variety of spa services like baths, nail trimming, toothbrushing, and dematting. Give Fido the finest at Houndstown, 610-947-1441, or visit houndstownreading.com.
Hey, welcome everybody. Jeff Nolan from the studios on the second floor at 4th and Court here, the WEEU studios. And we are on this Tuesday night, at least for us, our final broadcast night of the regular season. A couple technical issues we're working through right now. The final tonight in overtime, Wilson beats Muhlenberg 60-57. For Wilson, they improved to 8-4 in the league. Meanwhile, for the Mules, they will drop to 6-6. And now they will wait to see the outcome of Reading and Governor Mifflin, because that'll go a long way and determine who gets one of those county playoff positions. Now, Matt Nobb's going to join me on the postgame show, and we are going to talk about that and other things as well. Kerry Seattle from the BCIAA will join us. We're going to talk about next week, the playoffs and the big afternoon at the Santander. That is Wednesday, of course, for the semis, and then the finals on Friday. We're going to take another time out. You're listening to high school basketball right here on the Voice of Berks, 830 WEEU.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
Look for a guard, and I still don't think we're getting him the ball enough, because I think the more he touches it, the better off we're going to be. I think some of our guys don't realize is how unselfish he is. I think sometimes he passes it out when he shouldn't. He had a rebound tonight. He had a rebound in the Reading game where I wanted him to put it back up, but he was, looking for his teammates. So we're working on that also. But I think the more we can get touches through him, the better off our guards are going to be.
Hey, last thing for me, how important was winning this game, a tight game against a very good team going into next week's county playoffs? What do you think it can do to your kids?
I think it does wonders. Like I told you before the game tonight, I wanted to vent to you a little bit. I'm going to vent again. Truthfully, I had a rough 10, 12 days with these guys. And, I want to say like our basketball community, doubting us, what's going on. I can't believe you guys lost 3 games. Like, you're not doing a good job coaching. These guys aren't. Listen, we lost to 3 good teams. We talked about before the season started, our division was going to be a dogfight, and it was. Other than Berks Catholic towards the end here getting a little bit of a 2-game cushion, it's been a dogfight, and I didn't expect anything else. But, listen, there's a high school kids. They make mistakes. But, when you lose to a Berks Catholic on the road by 2, that's not a bad loss. You lose double overtime to one of your rivals, Governor Mifflin, when you miss 15 foul shots. And then, again, you lose to Reading. I don't care. I love when people say Reading's bad. No, they're not. That's a team that, first of all, their non-league schedule is ridiculous. And truthfully, if they would have had a normal non-league schedule, they'd be probably sitting about 8 or 9 in our district. But because of their schedule, it kind of hurt them early. But they're a force to be reckoned with. And, we lost to them by 2. So, it irritated me. These kids are good basketball players, and they lost 3 tough games, and I think you can learn from those. And I'm hoping tonight we kind of got over that edge tonight.
Yeah, you won a tough game tonight, Matt. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week.
I appreciate you guys.
Thanks very much. We apologize. We had a little bit of technical difficulties at the beginning. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more of our Pizza Como postgame show, including our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game and our American Diner play of the game, all when we come back after this on WEEU in Reading.
Got a special event? Let Render's Markets cover the catering with their delicious selection of party platters and prepared foods. Host the best brunch with their sunrise brioche sliders, wraps, and fruit trays. Treat your guests to Render's assortment of pastries and cakes, or take your party to the next level with fried or rotisserie chicken, shrimp cocktail trays, traditional or boneless wings, and even more easy-to-heat meals made by our executive chefs. Put down the apron and pick up the party with Render's Catering. Check out the menu at the market or order online at rendersmarkets.com.
Are your garage doors noisy, squeaky, or moving unevenly? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening and closing them? Don't be left sitting in the driveway. It's time for a tune-up from Overhead Doors. Starting at just $99, we'll inspect, lube, and adjust your garage doors so they operate smoothly. Call today and ask for a tune-up special from Overhead Door, your hometown garage door company since 1965. Overhead Door, we're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Elite Fuel Services has been one of Berks County's best-kept secrets for more than 20 years. They're a full-service heating and cooling company. Not only do they deliver heating oil, propane, diesel fuel, and gasoline, Elite also has a full HVAC team that is ready to tackle any of your heating or cooling needs. Just a quick Google search away, Elite Fuel Service. Read the reviews and give them a call. You'll feel part of the Elite Fuel family, giving you the peace of mind you deserve.
Welcome back to our Pizza Como post-game show. It's now time for our Player of the Game, brought to you by the Reading Fight Phils and their all-new Redner's Event Center at First Energy Stadium. The R-Phils remind you to have your next sports team banquet at the R-Phils all-new Redner's Event Center banquet and meeting facility at First Energy Stadium. Whether it's a sports banquet, a wedding, a corporate meeting, or event, or any charity fundraiser, the number one place for events in Berks County for groups of 40 to 1,000 is the all-new Redner's Event Center at the R-Phils. Go to rphils.com/events for more information. Terrific ball game all around. Lots of accolades can be had, but the Wilson Bulldogs came down to the fourth quarter needing some points. And Carell Akings, who was quiet through the first three quarters. He was big in the first. He had 8 at halftime, but he was quiet in the third. Came up with 5 points in the third quarter, 5 of the Bulldogs' 8 points in the third, and then scored 4 more of Wilson's 12 points in the overtime session. They win it over Muhlenberg tonight, with Carell Akings coming up with a team high, along with Maddox Gruber, of 17 points. So Carell Akings is our Reading Fighting Phils player of the game.
Can I have an honorable mention?
Sure can.
Luke Levan, 12 points, 8
Absolutely.
rebounds.
Big buckets every time.
3 assists, 2 assists in overtime.
Very big in a lot of ways. Was very present early on, especially in the third quarter. Wilson clearly came out of the locker room in the second half wanting to feed the post with Luke Levan. He also made some terrific passes out of that as well. We pretty much alluded to what is our American Diner player of the game. American Diner in West Reading, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a late-night snack, you'll find a variety of menu items and homemade desserts. American Diner serves breakfast all day. And dinner entrees include dinner rolls and butter, soup and salad bar, and a choice of potato or vegetable. There's a full senior citizen menu that includes a free dessert, and military veterans receive a 10% discount. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and serving the community for generations since 1994. And our American Diner play of the game was generated by the guy who Rich Garcella spent some time talking to, in John Edom. John Edom with the block at the end of the game. 1 of 5 blocks for Wilson down the stretch. John Edom had 3 of them. Maddox Gruber had 1, and Tommy McFadden had 1 as well. 5 terrific stops. As Matt Coldren said, he'd rather have them stop it with their feet up in front, but they made the play when they had to. They made the defensive plays when they had to. Shut down Muhlenberg, and what a tremendously valiant effort tonight by Muhlenberg, knowing that their backs were up against the wall to try and win this basketball game to assure themselves of getting into the postseason. They were not able to do that. Do we have an update?
But they may be able to get in the playoffs after 3 quarters from the Geigel Complex. Governor Mifflin 49, Reading 40.
So a 9-point advantage for the Mustangs in the fourth quarter. But again, lots could change in the Geigel, as we found out in this one, because Wilson was up by 14 points in the early moments of the third quarter. And that's when Muhlenberg regained the control, the tempo, the pace of this game, forced Wilson into some very uncharacteristic mistakes because of the intensity level. And that's when Muhlenberg is at its best.
Muhlenberg showed the heart of a champion tonight, even if they failed to make the county playoffs with a Reading win. We'll find out. Again, Mifflin's up 49-40 going into the fourth quarter. Muhlenberg played like its back was against the wall, because it was. 14-0 run in the second half after being down by 14. They showed a lot of guts tonight, and I couldn't say enough about the effort that the Mules gave tonight.
And another terrific performance for Shamar Killen. He ends up with a game-high 24, also a boatload of assists to go along with it. Eli Hemmings has 10 for the Mules, 7 off the bench. Jaden Perez had some big buckets in the second half for Muhlenberg, including a 3 that tied it up in the overtime session. 7 for Perez, 6 as well for Michael Miller, 2 each for Justin Armstrong and Jeff Collado, and the Mules total of 57. In addition to the 17 by Akings and the 17 by Gruber, Rich mentioned the 12 by Luke Levan, 8 for Tom McFadden. John Edom finishes with 6. All 5 Bulldogs starters scored, nothing off the bench for Wilson, as they had enough from their offense from their starting 5, and they win it 60-57. So the final regular season record for the Bulldogs is at 17-5 and an 8-4 in Division I. If Mifflin holds on and wins it, they will be tied for second. But again, it will go down to power rankings in terms of seedings for the BCIAA playoffs, just like it will for the District 3 playoffs. Muhlenberg is 15-7. They fall to 6-6 in the division. They need, again, the Red Knights to fall out on their home floor. If Reading cannot come back, then Muhlenberg is in the county playoffs. The Mules already punched their ticket into the District 3 playoffs.
What I think we do know so far, we know the first 2 seeds. Berks Catholic will, in the boys, Berks Catholic will be the number 1 seed. Wilson will be the number 2 seed. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Then it's probably, but you can't say it. Depends on the outcome of the game tonight.
Right.
Mifflin, then Muhlenberg or Reading, depending on the outcome of the game tonight. So, but definitely Berks Catholic will be the 1 seed. Wilson will be the number 2. I can't imagine Matt Cauldron challenging Berks Catholic in the coaches meeting because they've lost twice to the Saints. So that's as much as we do know.
Right.
And that Antietam most likely will be the 8th seed.
Because 5, 6, and 7 is just as
a mess.
as much of a jam up as 3, 4, and 5.
I'm not smart enough, but Antietam is the 8th seed and most likely will play at Berks Catholic Monday night.
Yeah, 5,
in a
6, and
1-8
7
game.
will be some kind of combination of Exeter, Wyomissing, and Schuylkill Valley, but they're all pretty close in the power ranking points, depending on what happens over the course of the games tonight. And so that's the update to where we are right now. Stay tuned for the scoreboard show with Jeff Nolan and Matt Knob. I just morphed them into one person.
Of course.
Jeff Nolan and Matt Knob. Again, Carrie Ciato from the executive director the BCIAA will join them, as well as the Benner sisters, Addison and Sophia from Brandywine Heights will join them as well. Again, a reminder of where we go next. That's the county playoffs, boys quarterfinal on Monday night, 7 o'clock. Where we'll be, we'll figure it all out. And our video coverage will continue in the postseason as well, throughout the county playoffs, throughout the district playoffs. You can listen to us on the radio. You can watch our games for free as well. 8:30 WEEU Sports on YouTube. Boys quarterfinal on Monday at 7, a quadruple header from Santander Arena. There'll be 2 girls semis, 2 boys semis in some order. We'll have it all for you. That first one starts at 4 o'clock, and then the county championship games are Friday, February 14th, 6 o'clock for the girls, 8 o'clock for the boys, and we'll have them both.
I have a feeling that on Friday's Mornings with Mike show that the announcement will be made which game we'll have Monday night. Am I right?
That's a possibility. Speaking of which, one Chad Henne will join us tomorrow morning at 8:05 as well. Chad Henne, of course, the Wilson product, who has a couple Super Bowl rings thanks to the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll talk about the Super Bowl and the Eagles and the Chiefs, which will also be on WEEU on Sunday. So that's going to do it for our coverage for the regular season. Hope you enjoyed the ride. It's been a wild one, as we promised you, since December, but it will continue into February and into March for sure as well. Keep it with us here on 8:30 a.m. WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. Again, our high school basketball coverage is presented by Savage Auto Group. Thanks for listening to us all year long, I'm sure, and I hope you'll continue to listen and hopefully watch as well on our YouTube channel throughout the playoffs. The Scoreboard Show with Jeff and Matt follows us for our technical director, Sean Tansky, my colleague here in the broadcast booth, Rick Arcella. My name is Bob McCool. Thanks to Drew Kaufman and the staff here at Wilson High School for the hospitality, where the Bulldogs win it over Muhlenberg in overtime. Wilson 60, Muhlenberg 57. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody. Have yourselves a great week. We'll talk to you when the playoffs kick into gear on Monday.
You've been listening to High School Basketball on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. High School Basketball on WEEU is brought to you by
Adelphia Seafood, American Diner, Bachman's Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling, Chick-fil-A, Cross Keys Insurance, Diefenbach Snacks, Elite Fuel Service, Houndstown Reading, Judd Firestone Plumbing, Kuhn Funeral Home, Overhead Door Company, Redner's Warehouse Markets,